right, we ready, Wally?
We are ready.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Wally DM's YouTube channel. Tonight we're going to diverge a bit from the normal puzzles that you see, and we're going to be doing a Halloween one-shot. I will be your Dungeon Master for the night. I am known as Nerzugal Online, real name Stephen Williams. You may know me from my Dungeon Master and Game Master toolkits that you can find on the DM's Guild, and my most recent publication, Nerzugal's Tome of Horrifying Adventures, which is filled with 10 one-shots, ready to go for your Halloween games if you have one coming up. This is one of the adventures from that book that you can also get available for free on the DM's Guild if you'd like, called Bog of the Hag. And we're going to be running through it in about 3 hours. I'm cutting it down. You can extend it if you like. You might be able to make it a little bit shorter, but we're going to try to get through it within our timeline. So we'll kind of go through and start character introductions, get things rolling. So, Wally, do you want to kick us off?
Absolutely, I do. Hi, everybody. Wally DM here, or actually just Wally D tonight. And thanks, everybody, for joining us. Really looking forward to this. I will be playing a half-elf glamour bard by the name of Harper Hogwallop. And I just got to say thanks to Stephen for running this. I am super excited. Got my Halloween t-shirt, my glow-in-the-dark dice, and ready to do some rolling. Hopefully going to live through this, too.
I guess shift over to Argon.
Yes. I am Sariph. I go on Twitter as DM Pendragon. I will be playing Argon, the human Eldritch Knight.
Right. And then Foerick / Gorbolwyrm.
Yes, I'm going to be playing a gold dragonborn monk of the open hand. So yeah, should have some fun with him.
And finally,
yeah, and you can find me on Wally's Discord server.
That's right, join Wally's Discord server if you haven't yet. And then the last person we have is Jovar / Arphef.
Arphef, exactly. Spelt as see, not as believed. I am reprising a Dwarven War Cleric that I first played with Wally at Gen Con a few months ago. Played him in a couple of different one-shots. So he's got some familiarity with temporal displacement and interplanar travel. So hopefully a hag-filled bog won't be too much for him. But very excited for this. Thank you, Nerzugal, for DMing, and thanks, Wally, for having me back. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Well, without further ado, this adventure you can kick off a few different ways. If you're trying to run it in part of your own world, you could have a group of children who've wandered off into the bog. But for the sake of keeping things brief tonight, our brave adventurers have been tasked to head to a nearby village to serve as mercenaries for a town that is expected to come under attack by a band of orcs. Now, ordinarily, this path takes you on a long, winding road across this forest, but being the brave adventurers that you are, you've decided to cut through. You can shave about a day off your travel if you just cut through this forest, and you've got survival skills. This should be no problem for you. It's clean on the map. As you get towards the edge of the forest, you notice some broken down fencing and barbed wire with beware danger signs out front. But once again, you've seen some combat. You're strong adventurers. These sorts of things don't frighten you, and you continue deeper into the area. And as you step through the forest, you notice the landscape around you starts to shift ever so subtly as the trees, you start to see blight painted on the side of their bark. You see the ground kind of mushes underfoot of it a bit, and then you see the birds all turn dark and flesh, and then you start to see some of these birds have deformities, a second head next to them or a growth on their back. You start to see strange black lizards crawling along the trees. You notice as all of the trees become blighted and dark, and eventually the ground underfoot turns completely to mush as water starts to fill the area before you. And you look forward, and as you look back, you notice that somehow it's all much the same, that this sort of rolling bog with areas of high ground where there's trees that seem to be still flourishing up here, and then areas of murky water, 2 or 3 foot deep in between, that's just black with plant life still jutting out of it, blackened, strange creatures. You see frogs sitting on the trees with giant pustules on their back waiting to erupt. There's a rancid smell in the air, a bit like decay or just stale air, as if you were down in tunnels where there's just no fresh air sweeping through the area, which is unexpected even for a bog. But as you kind of look around, this is what you find yourself in. You can do with that what you will for now. And you guys can get to introduce your characters a little bit more.
Well, this is the last time that we'll we'll use Arif's direction sense.
Never let a dwarf lead you through a forest.
This is definitely not on the map.
What in tarnations did you get us into? This is not looking. I knew we should have took that left turn at Albuquerque a little while
I was
back.
just gonna say that.
It's just one night in the bog. I've seen worst. And I would definitely make for the high ground being just 4 feet tall or 4.5 feet tall. So
Yeah, as you travel through, you find it just kind of these little mounds that are probably 10 or 15 feet across, and then 10 or 15 feet sections of murky water in between. It's pretty still, but the ground there is especially goopy and disgusting. You feel yourself sink down a couple inches into the mud, almost fearful that you're going to get a boot lost in there as you step through. Do you guys want to keep heading that way or try to skirt it? Like, what's your plan for getting out of this place?
So if we look behind us, it's like all the same. So we kind of just kind of engulfed us.
Like, you didn't even realize it happening. You're like, we were just at the forest, and like you turn around and it just kind of seems like more of the same, and it's kind of messing with your head because you don't understand. You're like,
Absolutely.
we were just in the forest. I remember this, but even you see footsteps going back behind you. But
Well, I'm definitely open for any ideas that you all might have, but this does not look like the place that I want to be at this time. Yeah, I just bought these boots in town just a few days ago, and now look at them. They're a splendid mess.
they're quite
Well,
disgusting.
Perhaps we should just follow our tracks back out and try and skirt around this bog.
Yeah.
quickly from the high ground, you mentioned that there are patches of the murkier water and then patches of the high ground again, the kind of mounds more or less. Is there any discernible pattern if we look out? Does it seem like they that there's more open bog in one direction, or is it kind of completely the same?
It's kind of seems pretty same to you. You don't see any like bigger patches of land or anything like that in any direction. I think just these mounds of land that kind of curve up and then just water in between. So it's just the landscape is polka dotted with these areas of high ground that are kind of a respite from the murkiness of the bog. It smells a little more pleasant up here. The creatures don't seem quite as vile here. It's literally a breath of fresh air to be up in these areas. And then it's just that murky water everywhere in between that you kind of have to trudge through. And parts, Arphef, you're kind of, weapon overhead, walking through as it's up to your chest.
And perhaps Gorbolwyrm is correct, and we should start to head back in the direction we came. We have no idea how much further this bog could go on for, or this murky water.
Yeah. According to your map, it would be no more than, half a day's travel to get through here. You've been traveling for a few hours by the time you realize something's gone awry. You're far enough off path, and then but there's no swamps or bogs labeled on this map. It should just be a forest, and so this seems very out of place. But if you guys kind of turn heel and you look back the way you came, and you notice some footsteps of yours on an island a little ways back. How are you trudging? Who's kind of taking the lead as you move through this bog? Who's your navigator?
Oh, I wouldn't navigate. I'm definitely taking point though.
Okay.
All right.
Argon's in the lead there.
All right. Would you like to make me a perception check, please, as you kind of are wading through this bog, trying to get back to one of the other havens?
Oh, that's a natural one.
All right. So you are
First roll of the game.
walking. We're off to a great start. Perfect Halloween adventure.
And we all
You're
died.
walking. Well, no one said that. You're walking through the muck, and you see about 5 feet away from you. You notice something start to move, and you look over and see a set of large reptilian eyes staring at you, and you see a large snout sticking up out of the water and a couple spikes going down the back as a crocodile is just feet away from you, very slowly swimming over your direction. And it is a big crocodile, the largest you've ever seen, maybe 15 feet in length from head to tail.
I want to throw my spear at it.
All right, go for it.
Now, as he's throwing his spear, maybe we should all just be really, really quiet.
Natural 10?
That's no,
Oh.
yeah, dirty 10.
Oh, dirty 10. So what's your total?
10.
Oh, just 10 total. Oh, dirty 10. What am I thinking? Not natural. All right, that is a miss. So you throw your spear, and it just seems to bonk off this crocodile's hardened flesh scales, and it immediately rips through the water in your direction. You see water splash in every direction. We're going to have to roll for initiative with that one.
Can I bonus action call it back? It's my
Yeah,
Eldritch weapon.
sure, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
And courtesy of Wally's Waterdeep D20s, I got the natural 20 on initiative.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was that.
Courtesy of Wally's DM from Waterdeep, I did not. And so there you go, guys. All right, what are our totals here?
21.
Okay. After 21.
18 for Harper.
All right.
5 for me.
I got a rock. I got a 4.
Nice. All right. And nice. Okay, so Arphef, kick us up. Oh gosh, you guys have the first 2 letters the same.
I know.
What depth am I currently standing in? Where, as this is going on, am I kind of on one of the mounds? Am I inside of the mountain? I'd be
would
trying to
say-
go.
The person in the very back, I'll say, is still like up on high ground. Everyone else is kind of wading through the water. So we can kind of retroactively determine what your marching order was from here.
Got it.
So who would have been in the back? We can determine that really quickly.
I would have been second or third, probably.
Okay.
I don't think I'd take the rear.
I figure Harper would be in the back because he's like trying not to get his boots muddy for as long as possible.
Yeah, and
He's like wants to stay on that high ground.
yeah, he's going to keep an eye on that dwarf, make sure he doesn't sink.
All right. So, Arphef, you see this crocodile just explode out of the water, huge jaws snapping in the direction of Argon after he throws his spear and it clatters off and he summons it back to his hand.
Got it. Arphef, seeing danger ahead, would kind of, despite the muck and the difficulty, would trudge forward, stand at least alongside Argon, and would ready action his attack. Are you like a melee fighter, Argon, or are you more of a ranged? Together?
I'm definitely melee fighter.
Got it. Cool. Then I would square up alongside you, and I would ready action my warhammer to hit him, to hit that crocodile as it closes distance with us.
Sound like
All
you're
right.
going to hit Argon.
Surprise!
Ready.
The bog's already gotten to me. Nope. that
Next
would be
up,
it.
Harper. You see Arphef move into position next to Argon as they stand against this giant reptile in the water.
Oh, my.
Crocodile's
All
reptiles.
right. Yeah, so Harper's going to get a little uncomfortable there, but he would like to cast Vicious Mockery. And and he's going to look at that crocodile and says, "Well, now, crocodile, don't be so upset at everything and all. Maybe if you had a little bit more common sense and
He's got a solid 10 for his wisdom. So, or while I think you muted yourself. Nope.
All right, I'm back.
All right. So, does vicious mockery work on a creature that can't speak any languages or understand them? I don't think it does,
I don't think it does, but I'm
going to give you the first one just because it's fun.
All right, good. And a Vicious Mockery, the crocodile. Then
The crocodile
it is a wisdom save.
resists the words, seeming just confused by you yelling at it. Uninterested entirely. Like, this doesn't affect me because I can't read.
And then he'll take 10 steps back.
All right. You get a little bit of space between you. All right. And the crocodile is going to go. And it's going to try to grab onto the person that threw a spear at it. And Arphef, you can get your reaction.
Yeah, it doesn't need to understand.
It doesn't. Oh.
Yeah, I just read that too. I was
There you
surprised.
go. It resists regardless.
That is, nevertheless, it resisted. I will take a 14 on the swing.
That is a hit.
Perfect. And then 4 points of damage as I bring it down right on its snout as it goes to bite.
So yeah, you give it a little bop on the nose, but it doesn't seem to slow in its assault as it jumps forward with a 22 to hit.
that is going to hit.
All right, let's get some damage. You take 18 piercing damage.
Oh
Holy
shit!
smokes.
And you are grappled as this crocodile twists its head and lashes onto your body and holds you in place with these huge jaws. Arphef, you're almost pushed down into the muck as you realize just how much mass this creature has as it latches onto your friend, holds him in place, and you can see it thrashing as it tries to pull him down into the muck. You're actually restrained as well as it's holding you in its jaws. So it's trying to pull you down into the muck to eat you, and you're just holding ground, trying to resist its might. And I believe it's your turn.
Uh,
Oh no, it's Gorbolwyrm first. Or Gorbolwyrm.
Yep. Alright. Well,
This crocodile's got a hold of your friend.
yeah. Well, excuse me. I'll move around so that I'm flanking the crocodile between me and Arphef.
Okay.
And give it a couple of love taps with my fists.
Go for it.
17. What's the plus?
17's
21.
a hit regardless.
Okay. And bonus action and 19. So that's 2 hits.
two solid hits.
4. 5 and 6, so 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
So how exactly does Gorbolwyrm attack? Is he smacking down with his tail? Is he bringing claws and fists to this?
Yeah,
what's
no,
his
it's
fighting
just
style? Precision
hitting with his
strikes.
palms. Yeah, just with his fists.
Yeah, so you're just striking down and hitting. You're hitting against this hard armor plating that you know you're hitting these pressure points beneath that are resonating through the crocodile's body. And you see it, jerk back the other way, and it gets submerged partially in the water as it recoils back, still holding onto Argon. As we switch over to your turn, as you're just grappled in this creature's jaws, I imagine trying to resist these jaws smashing down on you with their great strength.
I would like to roll to get out of this.
Yeah, you can roll to break out of the grapple. Go for it.
Athletics or
It is either your acrobatics or athletics, whichever you want.
athletics? Oh wow, that's an 8.
You can't break free.
Oh no.
Any bonus actions?
Second wind.
All right.
Or not second wind. Action surge.
Action surge. Are you gonna try to break out again?
Oh. That's a 12.
I'm gonna take him out so quick. He's still got you held. You're trying with all your might to slip free, but its jaws are just coming down on you, and it is not wanting to let go. Yeah, you're getting a bit frightened here as Arphef. We switch back around to you, and you feel safe up on the high ground.
I'm in danger.
Crushed to death between the jaws. As a strange frog with pustules on its back stares out at you with large eyes.
Nope.
It's on me.
It's your turn.
I am going to say a quick prayer to Clangadin for some divine strength and cast divine favor as a bonus action, and then I'm going to wail on this crocodile one more time.
Please
And see if I can get its attention. Yes. That is going to be an 8.
It's not a hit, unfortunately.
goodness.
You are flanking, so you get advantage. Because I'm on the other side of the crocodile.
Do we want to do flanking rules? Your opponents will get it.
okay.
No,
That's
we
up
can
to our
flank,
DM.
I think we
usually
take the
don't
early.
flank, but if
I
you
think
want
we
to,
take the early get if we can get it.
we'll do flanking rules, but it's going to apply for everything in the session. So let's do it.
What do you guys say? Do you want to raise your hands for a yes?
Do it. I mean, I'm already in the gator. Like,
All right, well, we're doing it.
Perfect. Natural 19. So that's a
There
22.
you go. That's a hit.
So that's a D8 and a D4. So that's going to be 7 points of damage. 8 points of damage. Sorry. Math is hard.
All right. Yeah, you strike. What is your weapon?
It's a Warhammer. I bring it
Warhammer,
down.
you smash down on its head and try to get it to drop its food here. And you see its jaws release from Argon, and it starts to sink back and back away in the muck pretty quickly and sink down into the waters. Do you guys wish to pursue, or it kind of looks to be retreating from this? So,
first
Harper,
thing-
it's your turn. You see
Yeah.
it. You see it let go of Argon and
Um,
start to drop down into the water and disappear into the muck. But we get to your turn, is it's just letting him go.
So Harper would run up there and make sure to help Argon get up, seeing that he's been wounded and stuff. Kind of just reach down, help him up, try to get him out of the way, and then he would like to just see, look down into the water and see if maybe the crocodile is trying to reposition or if it is truly gone.
Make me a perception check.
Okay. Perception is a 23.
It looks to be, from your best knowledge, to be retreating away from this. It's been hurt enough that it's decided this meal isn't worth it.
All right. So Harper put his arm back as if trying to keep everyone back, saying, I think, Arphef, I think that strike there, I think it scared it away. We should be all right now.
I wouldn't want to second chance that thing.
Not at all.
And now you see the crocodile it like slinks down to its eyes and then just slowly disappears, and you see some bubbles pop up, and then the water's just still.
Well.
And as you turn to look, you were following your footsteps back for a while, and then like as you look around, you kind of spin, and all of a sudden you seem to, those footprints are just gone. Everything except for where Harper just was, up on that little mound, things seem to have become unfamiliar to you. You're not really sure which way is back anymore.
Then we just go forward.
What's forward?
I think I'm lost.
Well-
Now, global warming, Gorbolwyrm, what's going on? Where we at?
I do not know. He looks up for the sun, see if he can see the sun to get a sort of a direction in that sense.
Yeah, you can see the sun. It's like up a bit to the east. I guess it's probably getting dark at this point, so off to the west, depending on if you're Zell or not.
No, Zell's cured.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It looks like the sun is starting to go down. You imagine you probably have a few hours of daylight left at best.
So, which direction were we heading originally? To get to.
Knowing the map on the way to the town we were heading, were we cutting north
Yeah, you're
through
going
the
like
forest?
northwest.
Okay, well, I suppose we may as well see if we can head northwest and get through this bog to the town.
Okay. So you guys,
Now, does that go through the crocodile or around the crocodile?
I'll say you go around,
Okay.
regardless.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for that. We got to get out of this as soon as possible.
All right, so you guys start heading that way, being very vigilant and trying to watch out for any additional crocodiles that may be lurking in the muck. Eyes on high alert. You get spooked by a few different fish that splash up out of the water. You do see a few fish lying dead on their side in this bog. Some especially large lizards crawling around, but nothing leaps out at you. And as it's starting to get darker in the evening, you imagine just a few 20, 30 minutes of sunlight left. It's a little bit of realization that you're probably not going to get out of here tonight, and you're going to be spending at least one evening in this bog. As you step over one of these hills, Arphef, you've been looking out, you see sort of a larger open area ahead of you that spans much larger than these ordinary like high grounds, these havens of peaceful dry land in between the waters. And there's this tree that's overturned on its side. It's probably 15 feet across, like this massive tree, tangled roots all along the base, and carved into the side of this tree are a bunch of intricate symbology and just artwork that goes all the way down the tree that extends for over 100 feet, and it's fallen across multiple of these waterways. At the mouth of that tree, you can see a doorway that has been, like, there's actually a door in the tree itself, and like two windows that are casting out torchlight. And there's sort of a yard here actually where it looks like the muck has kind of been shoveled up and patted down, and so there's like a 30 by 30 foot area in front of this place with a string going around the outside and like bells attached to it. This is the first sign of anything close to civilization that you've seen since entering this area.
Well, my first move, seeing it first, is to put a quick hand up and gesture for folks to silently
It's still a
come.
ways off in the distance. You can't see in the windows from where you are. You're kind of approaching it from the side, but you can see that there's a door and a light casting out into the front yard.
And there's one big solid patch of land, and then this tree that extends to several of those smaller mounds.
Yeah, so the tree's fallen over, and it looks like there's a house that's been carved into the tree itself. And then, there's like a yard out in front of it. And it's got like a little bell warning system out front.
Well, maybe maybe there's a druid that lives out here that's got a pet crocodile that we can go apologize to.
You've been walking for a while since you saw that crocodile.
Or the druid may be the crocodile.
Good point. How's Argon doing? Do we need to take a short rest? Do we?
I could definitely use a short rest.
All right. So you guys post up on one of the. Are you gonna go up to this area for a short rest? Or are you gonna hang back and kind of observe and just take a breather? It will be dark by the time you're done with your short rest.
Oh man.
Well, we may as well see if they're hospitable.
True. Maybe we can find somebody to tend to your wounds there, Argon. I mean, I do have a little bit of magic, but it's not. He looks at Argon's bites and stuff.
Yeah, there's like blood stains going down his clothing.
Through my chainmail?
Yeah, I mean, some of those teeth probably penetrated right through and splintered the chainmail on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, and last time I tried to cauterize your wounds, you sort of complained about it.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the plan? Short rest, or are we approaching this building? And if you're approaching, what's your plan?
Now, can we see? You said does it look like human-sized door or like a shorter?
It's large. It's probably about 8 feet high, so it's taller than you'd expect.
Okay.
Actually, 10 feet tall. It's a big door. It's a big door.
Oh, that just means there's some big help in there.
Let's see if they'll take in a wounded traveler.
Might play to our strengths as a lost group. These folks don't mean us harm.
Well, I say we go up and talk to them, see if we can't get us maybe some warm tea, maybe a short rest, and find out where the hell we are.
All right,
Maybe
so you guys.
Gorbolwyrm and I will take the lead, and we'll have you stay a bit back there with your spear, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gorbolwyrm and Arphef as a greeting group. All right, so
Yeah.
are you guys
Leaning
just
on my
walking up
spear.
into the yard? Are you calling out? Or are you going up to the front door and knocking? What's your plan?
Probably best if we go and ring the bells. The warning system that's there. Sort of let them know that someone's there before we enter their territory.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we need to come across as hostile before we even get there. If we have to fight, we have to fight. But let's try to show that we mean no harm. So that would we should approach from a very forward angle so they can see us coming, and no weapons drawn, and ring the bells.
All right. So as you approach, kind of circling around up in front to position yourself, you can see in these windows, and like as you flank around, and you see a pretty large, what looks to be like a human man sitting at the table, but he's got this pale blue skin, long white hair kind of going down his back, and you notice his hands, he's digging into a huge piece of like roasted crocodile meat and is just tearing at it as he sits at a table. But yeah, and then you like kind of peek through, you see a bed in there that's a very, very large, like a bookshelf with some decorations on one side. There's like a few torches burning inside as well. Yeah, there's actually a cooking pit out in front of the house as well. You would notice that from before.
Were you all
Yeah,
sitting
house-
up there?
The house seems to extend about 40 feet in. It's pretty cozy.
What are you all seeing up there?
Well,
We're seeing a large blue man.
Is there a group of them?
No,
Just
it
the
just
one.
seems to be just the one. But he's big enough to be four. One of my languages is giant, so would I know about furbolgs?
You can make me a nature check We'll see if you know what this creature is.
Yeah, that would be a natural one.
You're like, I don't think that's a furbolg. You're pretty confident in that, but you're not sure
It's
what
a storm
it is.
giant, isn't it?
It's not that large. He's tall, but not like
It's
giant.
a baby storm giant.
As we get closer, can we tell anything from the symbology? You said there were things carved into the side of the tree, like symbols. Can we make up anything from it, or?
Sure, yeah, give me you can do nature or arcana if you'd like.
I can do it, Ken.
So
I'd
natural
give it
18.
a 160 and like kind of the carvings along the outside, same thing. Sorry, what?
Sorry, that's an 18 total. I did nature.
Yeah, these seems to be sort of tribal symbols. You'd know them of kind of related to giant clans in the area, but these are kind of modified, but they seem more arcane in nature as well. Like there's a little bit of glow to them, as if they're instilled with magic. But you can only see once you get like closer to the house, like you are. It's very, very subtle.
I would convey that to Gorbolwyrm, so he knows that these are some kind of giant symbols. But then I wouldn't be deterred from trying to approach from the front still.
Okay. So you guys mosey on up and give a ring on the bells, and you see the creature inside like turn ahead and look out the window over in your direction, and like slams the crocodile down on the table and goes and looks out the window.
What are you doing here?
Well, my friend and a few others, we got lost in this bog. It looks like we got attacked by the same thing you're eating. Hopefully it's the same one. And we're looking for some safe respite for the night.
And so you've come to Kurg's land to seek refuge?
Not intentionally, but we are here now.
How many of you are hiding out in those woods?
Like looks, and you see that his eyes are like pure white. It almost looks like he's blind, just with the way they are. And you notice that he's got like tattoos, like white line tattoos kind of going down his face. He's wearing clothing, but it's all tattered up and torn. It's been like patched and sewn shut. There's like giant leaves that are kind of filling in some spots, but he's kind of a mess.
There's 4 of us, and we've not been in this bog nearly as long as you have, I'm afraid.
You have no idea. Tell them to approach. Meet me outside.
And you see him like disappear from the window, and he disappears into the house for a bit. You see him go away from the windows.
Can I tell anything from his demeanor if he intends to judge us later? If he's already can I tell anything from the way he said that?
Give me an insight check.
13.
He's not hostile, but he seems untrusting, cautious. But,
I don't blame him.
So he yells that out. You all probably hear it, even from the distance you are. His voice kind of booms, and things echo through this bog.
This is creepy, Harper.
Shall we?
Yes, I think it's seems safe enough.
All right. So you guys kind of step into
I'll
the
approach,
area.
yeah.
All right. And like a minute goes by, and you see the door open up again, and this creature emerges. He's carrying like a large walking stick with a few like onyx gemstones attached to the end of it, and he's got like a cloak around his body at this point, like woven of leaves. It gives him a little more protection, and he's actually got a mask over his face that gives him a bit more of an intimidating look as he steps out. This tribal war mask as he steps out in the open.
State your names and what's brought you here.
Well, I'm Arphef. I'm Arphef. I kind of wave up at this giant man. I'm Arphef, and we are not here on purpose. We found ourselves lost here. And then I'll beckon.
Right. Harper Hogwallop, sir. Very nice to meet your acquaintance. And I don't know what you're eating in there, but that smells absolutely delicious.
This is quite good. I like your shirt. Would you like to make an exchange?
Well, my shirt. Well, it's on my back, if they, as they say. But Sure. I'm sure we could. I brought a spell. If I don't exactly see it fitting you, sir. I mean, no, nothing intended. I'm just not as muscular and filled out as you are.
Just
What?
need the materials. Hard to come by. How long have you been wandering before you found me? Has she approached you yet?
She?
The hag. Has she not tormented you? How long have you been here?
Just hours, as far as we know.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
And he kind of seems to relax a little bit as he says,
naive fools who've been trapped here. Oh, I thought you were coming to raid my home at first. I see.
Well.
You still don't know what horrors await you in this bog. He's like, come, I'll give you some food, let's talk.
and he like gestures to some like logs that are kind of makeshift seating around the cauldron and fire pit out in his yard. And he disappears in the house for a moment, and he comes back out with like a giant slab of crocodile meat on a wood plank essentially, and like hands it over to each of you.
I don't have utensils, just rip off a chunk.
Oh yeah, definitely partake. We'll rip right into that.
Hopefully you're not too civilized. You learn to give up on such things once you've been here long enough.
Well, so why are you still here? How come you haven't left?
No way to, as far as I can tell. Been here going on 30 years now, I'd say.
Well, we have no intentions on staying that long. You're more than welcome to follow us if you like. We might stay for the night, and then we're going to get you up on out of here.
Of course. No one has any intentions of staying. It's not up to you, though. It's up to her. And whether or not she lets you live, it's up to her as well.
Ah, I see.
Some she likes to let linger like myself. Others she prefers to torment.
Maybe I'll give her my other shirt then, and we'll be just fine.
I'm still willing to bargain.
Absolutely.
No access to trade routes clothing is quite hard to come by.
Harper will either offer the shirt off his back, which is more of an adventuring gear type, or he's also got like a Dwight Yoakam get up in his entertainer costume, which looks like the old rhinestone 1980s country and western.
He looks at
Now you can have my dirty grungy adventurer type shirt, or I can give you this here, which is one of a kind. I wore that when performing quite a few times.
he wants the performance garb. He just points.
Give me that. I'll allow you to sleep here for the night.
All right. Well, it sounds like a deal. He'll hand it over.
He takes it and kind of like strokes against the cloth material, like holds it very, very delicately, and goes and like sets it on the windowsill of his home.
I believe I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kurg. It's a pleasure.
Same here, Kurg. Do you have guests often? And I'll point at the prearranged seats around the cauldron.
Always like to come prepared. It's been quite a few, perhaps a year at this point since the last batch came by. A group of kids from nearby town wandered in. Didn't come back. They lasted a few days. She got them.
That's terrible. What do we know about this she? Does she bother you much, or?
I think she's tormented me as much as she can. She took my brother from me many years ago. He thought if he stopped her, we could leave. Then I found his head in the yard the next morning with its jaw ripped off. And since then, I've remained complacent, shall we say. And I live with the pain of knowing I was too afraid to go in with him. I was a much younger man then. But I still feel guilt. Excuse me. And
He seems to be getting a little worked up about this, and like holds onto the staff a little more tightly.
she's one evil hag, I'll tell you that. She manipulates this place. She keeps you trapped here. You walk in circles. She'll find whatever way she can to torment you. And if you play enough of her game, sometimes she'll reveal herself. Usually people don't come back from that. And if she doesn't get you, the other creatures trapped in here will. There's Ettins out there, crocodiles, there's a tribe of bullywugs that runs around sometimes. They're little nuisances. It's far more dangerous than just her. Creatures are trapped in here, and once they know, they hold on to what they've got very, very carefully. It's my alarm system, but I've been raided by bullywugs 4 or 5 times. Wish I could help you, but kind of depends on what taste she has for you. You can lure her out if you search for her, I suppose. It's what my brother did, what others have done, but it's up to you if you wish to stay here or if you want to sign your death warrant.
Well, no offense, but we've got jobs to do and places to be, and we'd hate to crash in on your home much too long. You said that we can summon her. Do we just have to go looking for her? When has she last visited you?
She doesn't show herself in person, not for a long time. Sometimes she torments those who. They always seem to find me. I think it's part of the way she tortures me. Is she shows them to me and then she takes them away. It's nice to have company from time to time, but she's usually just a shadow at the edge of the forest. Sometimes the children come laughing in the forest. They sound like they're just outside, but there's nothing there. I think it's been probably 3 years since I last saw her. Decrepit thing. Looks like she's barely holding together. She does. She's damn strong.
Well, perhaps our group here is stronger, and would be even more so with you, if you felt up to joining us.
You want me to face off against her?
Make me a persuasion check.
Harper's like, he was like chewing on this crocodile, and like he's just been like this the entire time since.
That is a 12.
12?
Says, perhaps prove to me you can endure her torments. See when she shows herself to you a little more clearly. And perhaps I can change my mind. Working with you could... I don't wish to die. I think it would be fair to call me a coward. I accept that, but I've lived in this place for 30 years when countless others have died. I intend to keep living as much as I can.
Well, I find that all life has purpose, and perhaps yours is just...
Oh no.
Are you back? Well, that's well, I mean, you're a survivor and stuff. There's no no shame in being a survivor. It's going to be totally up to you. I have no intentions on staying in this place for 30 years, and I think I speak on behalf of my comrades that we're not going to do that. Now, it does seem a little far-fetched for me to imagine right now. I've never seen an endless swamp or bog, might you say? But if we got to talk to this hag, then I'm sure we can talk our way out. And if you'd like to go with us, you're more than welcome to.
You wish to talk your way through her?
Well, I'm sure everybody can be reasoned with now. And if not, as soon as we get Argon healed up, we'll be at full strength. I'm sure we can make
very
it see
deep
things
doubt
out.
in his eyes when you say that.
And then Harper will gulp after he realizes that.
Each carving on the side of my home is to commemorate someone who's come here and then died or disappeared. Over 40 of them. 43 to be exact. I don't wish to make it 47, but I don't doubt I will. Like I said, perhaps you are different. I look forward to finding out. If you wish to stay here, try to stay quiet at night. Don't lure anything here that we don't need. My house is off limits if you're not invited in. That should be clear. If you try to steal from me, I will come at you with everything I have. I may be a coward, but I will protect what's mine. Are we clear?
All right.
Absolutely.
Crystal.
Good.
Harper will turn around the rest of the guys and be like, what the hell did we just get ourselves into?
We got ourselves into a bog that's run by a hag that has a large blue man in it who's been tormented for 17 years. Or 30 years. It's very obvious what we've gotten ourselves into.
Next time we hire a ranger.
Well,
shreds the map.
I've been thinking about multi-classing for a long time.
All right, do you guys have anything else you want to ask him?
Excuse me, I forget his name.
Kurg.
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 Cleric.
It's Kurg.
Kurg, right. Apologies, I'm not very good with names and stuff. Do you know of any weaknesses or anything, just in case, we do have to square off? Is there anything in particular that she may be, either we could, do something in our favor, if you know what I mean?
There's very little known about her. The rumors from when all this started is that she lost her husband in some horrific accident or something or another, but she seems obsessed with taking the jaws of those she kills. I think her husband must have died in a similar fashion. She decorates with skulls with their bottom jaw removed. That's how I find any of the bodies that are ever seen again, like my brother.
That is unsettling.
I don't know much more about her. She seems to relish in causing torment to others. I think she just wants to share in her pain. But I've rarely encountered her, as I've said. It's mostly just in her tortures.
Well, what do you all think we should do?
I think we should rest.
Yeah.
It does grow late.
Yeah. Now, is it easier traveling in the morning?
I would never suggest traveling through this place at night.
Oh, fantastic. Then if you don't mind, I think we'll just crash here for the night then.
There are many dangerous things in this bog, and they like to come out when the sun falls. Not to say that the daylight is safe. No, don't get complacent. I see you've already encountered one of them.
Gestures to Argon.
Yeah.
Put up a hell of a fight, don't they?
I just wasn't paying attention.
Must be on high alert here. Now you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time to get some rest, as you said.
Absolutely.
You can set up wherever you'd like within this perimeter.
Well, fantastic.
The helmet's off limits.
And he turns and goes over the windowsill, and he very delicately lifts up that garment that you've got to him, and he walks it inside, and you see him set it down on his table, and lays it out, and then puts a head down on it, takes a deep breath, and then goes over to his you see him close shutters on the windows to his house, and he goes over to his. And you see the torches go out inside. And then everything around you is cast in darkness. I imagine you guys started the fire while you were conversing.
Yeah,
just
so
to have something.
and we're outside, correct?
You're right out in front
Okay.
of his house.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, yeah. So, I think he's full of, what do you say, crap, I think. There's no way that he's been here for that long. I think he's just telling a story, trying to scare us and stuff. I don't think
Well, if he's trying, he did it. He scared us. Scared me.
You could hear the fear in his voice.
he is very convincing, I do have to say. But we should definitely take some precautions. Can we kind of scout around to see if there's a good place to keep watch through the night?
Yeah, I mean, you've got it's probably about 30 feet, like half circle out in front of his house, a 30-foot radius, half circle out in front of it, and that's the area that's kind of enclosed by bells. But
Okay.
beyond that, like right off the edge of that, it slopes down and turns into that water, and a big park around his home.
And he said we couldn't go inside the home,
He
correct?
said you can't come inside his home without being invited. Well, I mean,
How
you can, but
how tall is the tree and how wide is the tree? I know it's 15 feet wide, right?
yeah. So I mean, it's like laid over on its side, but 15 foot wide across the base. Very, very old tree. And his home, you looked inside, it probably was about 35 or 40 feet of that, and then the tree continues on, like falling, going further into the bog behind you. So if you were to climb up on it, you could go down across a couple of the watery areas.
Well, and we could sleep on top of it to stay above the ground if we wished. I haven't seen any birds or any aerial creatures so far to
You've seen
worry
some
about.
crows.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. All right.
What do you say? It's not usual that a dwarf wants to get above ground, but in this case,
He scared you that much?
I've seen some crazy things in my journeys, and I find that typically when one's presented with bad ahead of you, it's oftentimes real. So I'm preparing for this.
Well, what are we doing then?
We could rest atop the tree if we feel safer up
Yeah.
there, or we can
Yeah. I think
post up by the
resting
door.
on top of the tree is a good idea.
That sounds like a plan.
right.
First good idea
You guys
that
kinda climb up
Arphef
the
has
roots.
had.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spread out your beds along the log. I assume there's going to be a watch order.
Yeah. I'm guessing we all have night or dark vision except for Argon.
Yeah, Argon does not.
So then perhaps we'll let you take the early morning rest or the last watch.
Last or first? Oh, yeah, last.
It's already
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
Last it is.
And yeah, the only light you have is like the fire going, and the trees overhead are still kind of dense, despite the fact that they're blighted. Like they have blackened leaves that kind of mesh together. There's open areas where the water is, but it still obscures the moonlight a little bit. It's fairly dark.
It doesn't look like Dragonborn get dark vision either.
Forgot about that.
Well, isn't we in a pickle? Oh, boy. Now, did we start a bonfire? Maybe we can just have that fire going. Maybe that'll light
Campfire
our... Yeah, I got our little campfire out front. So that'll help, maybe. And his alarm system is still intact? Okay.
You're outside of it now.
Uh-oh.
You're up on the tree.
Well,
I mean,
the
the alarm
hope is
system is just like bells on a string, though, so it's going to
Yeah.
catch like crocodiles, but anything intelligent can.
Are we exposed? Can you or can we tell if we're easily seen from all directions on top of this tree, or is it kind of like?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty open for about 30 feet on all sides of this big tree.
All right.
I don't think this is the best idea anymore.
Yeah, perhaps we go back down to the. I kind of envision
climb up
finding ways to.
Yeah,
back-
just not feeling it, guys.
Get back in within. Harper's like, well, all right. Yeah, maybe we better. Yeah. It's like, yeah, he'd feel probably better off in the alarm system.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, let's do that then.
Just climb back down. Like, all right, it's better down here. Start laying out some bedrolls.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so probably best if we camp up against the tree next to just under the windowsill.
Yep. That sounds good.
Agreed.
All right, so what's the watch order? No reason.
I'm happy to take the first one if you all like.
Well, I'll take the first one because I haven't got dark vision.
It's already dark.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
daylight saving.
I got you, Wally.
Oh, in that case, I'm going to bed.
All right, so Arphef first, and then
Wow.
Harper,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Harper will go next.
we'll say Gorbolwyrm and Argon. How about
All right.
that?
Global worm.
Because I assume you wear like heavy armor, so usually it's better to go like lap watch. All right. So yeah, let's find out when this happens. All right. So
Yeah, I
you
can't
guys
take my heavy armor off.
Me too.
start some resting, and Arphef, you get through your watch pretty no events go on. You settle down. You wake up Harper for his watch. He sits down, looks over the landscape, builds the fire back up a little bit, and as you're about half an hour into your watch, you see like a little flash of blue light off in the bog, out amongst the trees. Just for a moment, like a big firefly kind of flickers and
Yeah.
then disappears.
So as tough as Harper's been like talking stuff, he's scared shitless. So he's gonna wake up. Oh boy, who would he'd probably wake up Arphef because he knows that he can see in the dark. Arphef, hey, wake up!
I like spring back up, ready to go. With my soldier background, just right to alertness.
Sure. What do you say to him?
Hey, off there in the distance, looks like somebody's got a flashlight.
Oh, well, no, and I go and look in the direction he pointed.
So you look over that direction, you see a little bit larger this time, that little flash of light. Like it's gotten closer to you.
Is it like pulsing?
And it
goes
like
away?
goes bright and then fades out completely. And this time it's a yellow light that pulses.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, that stuff's getting closer. He's Harper's gonna wake up the other two.
Start shaking people. Like as you're going over to shake him, you look back and a little green light pulses.
What the hell?
Then
Gonna
closer
be
still.
attacked by a stoplight.
What?
Nothing. And Harper will point out in that direction. So watch now. This thing. There's some kind of light out there. I don't know if somebody's coming close. I wouldn't have woke you up if it wouldn't seem like it's getting closer. But it's changing colors and everything. And just to be on the safe side, I don't want to. But and he'll point to the direction that it's coming from.
And as you're saying it, the little blue light shows up again and pulses closer still, and then flashes away. And you see it's kind of like weaving between the trees a little bit, and you're like looking out there, even though you have dark vision, you're kind of squinting as it's just beyond the range of your dark vision. It's kind of just out in the blackness of the swamp. And then it lights up again, and you hear, "Follow!" And there's this little high-pitched, happy voice kind of rings through the area as the light starts to hold there. A little yellow ball of light just like floating out in the bog. Just drifting back and forth. Follow!
Well, see, it's somebody that's yeah, never mind.
I'm just jaw dropped, shaking my head no at this thing.
Yeah.
You see the light fade away, and then gets a little closer still and comes back with the blue light. Follow! As it's just pulsing and it hovers there a little bit. It's probably about 50 feet away from you at this point.
Right.
Like beyond the edge of the camp, but I imagine you're all kind of like up by his house, like looking out over the area as it's just kind of like floating there.
I do believe we better take some fighting positions. I mean, this is.
Should we ring the bells to see if our friend comes out and knows what this is?
Are there any rocks around me?
Yeah, you can find some rocks on the ground.
Any ones that I could potentially catapult towards a bell, or towards
Yeah,
this thing?
you could throw it. You could throw it at either, as it's gotten a little bit closer still.
Are we
But
taking
it's still just sitting there glowing. Follow, please. And it pauses for a minute, says help, and then turns like green, starts pulsing.
So maybe. wonder if there's something to do with these colors and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen red or nothing. Green's usually a pretty friendly color.
So is blue.
Blue, yellow might be a little bit of caution, but you shouldn't be talking to strangers anyway. So, what do you all think?
Fades out again and gets a little bit closer. At this point, it's like within the bounds of the camp. Just this little ball of light floating back and forth. The yellow again. Follow! Help!
Who are you?
Yeah. I think we should spread out a little bit just in case. Harper's gonna just kind of circle the perimeter a little bit.
Where do you want us to follow?
Follow. And then you see disappear and then pulses out a little bit further away and then pulses back to where it was.
I pull out my healing potion. We're not sleeping tonight, boys.
Oh.
Another Tuesday.
And then it fades away again, and it just it's gone for 5 seconds. So you're kind of what the heck is happening? And then Arphef, you hear right next to you, follow! Very high pitched, right next to your head. As you look over and see a little green ball of light, inches from your head, just glowing there, floating back and forth. And as you look over, you almost see a tiny little skull inside this little glowing ball of light. It's help!
Okay, let's say that we follow you. Go ahead and lead on.
Follow! And it sounds almost happy as it kind of pulses and disappears a little way off into the bog. And then you just say, follow!
Right.
Well, I'm taking my healing potion and following. So.
Wait, you're not gonna seriously follow that, are you, Argon?
What? There might be treasure
in a swamp. Maybe if it's the way out, but I'm not one that really. But yeah, that's spooky as hell.
Yeah.
And remember the warnings that Kerr gave us about how the Hague plays with us and will torment us. This is probably part of the torment.
But to be fair, what if Krieg is part of the torment?
Don't start going there on me, Argon, Arphef says.
Yeah, that's
it. This is
Who knows?
definitely at least one of its torments, because this alarm clock of a light is not going to let us rest tonight.
That's what I'm feeling.
So as you guys are hesitating, it disappears again, and once again it just fades out for a few seconds, and then right next to you, Argon, help! And you see turn over a little blue light pulsing there.
I'm dying.
Help! And turns red.
Oh, now that's not a good color.
Follow! And you see start to spark a little bit.
Arphef begins to step forward at the very least.
And it's right next to Argon, just floating. Follow!
I'm coming. I need D4. I'm going to take this healing potion. I have 7 hit points. Come on.
Did we at least get Argon a short rest?
Oh yeah, he would have had a short rest for sure.
Spend those hit
So
dice,
you-
my friend.
So
you would have had a short
spend
rest
your hit
sitting
die.
on fire.
Got you. Yeah, I'm coming. Let's go.
All right, so it fades away and then appears again like a little yellow light. Follow! And then starts pulsing. Are you guys going after it?
I'm gonna.
I don't think we have a
That's
choice.
the best part. You got a choice. It's whether or not you want to.
I don't know. Maybe I should take my whip and see if I can just smack it. See if it kind of bounces around.
What's
Is it a
the worst
magic
that could happen? I mean, if we follow it.
Let's see here. I kind of like my jaw. I like to talk quite a bit, And in order to do that,
Yeah,
I
we
need
know.
this. I need this bottom part to be able to go up and down, and I don't think I could talk as much without this jaw. Harper would like to pull out his mandolin and just play a soothing melody.
All right, you follow your, and you see like the little ball of light start drifting back and forth. Follow.
Does it like if I start singing and the words come on the bottom of the screen, will it bounce?
Yes.
You all creeping me out, creeping me out, creeping me out. Yeah, so we'll just he just wants to see if he can if it reacts to the music.
It just kind of drifts back and forth. It's just follow. And then it hovers for a little bit longer and says, hurry! And turns red again.
There's that red one.
And you see like sparking with energy as it turns red.
Impatient little booger, isn't it? I feel that's probably the point.
It disappears for a moment and then reappears right next to you, Harper. And
What the hell?
gives you a little zap. As the little red ball says, hurry! And you take 10 points of lightning damage. As it like hits your skin and goes, zzz, you feel like a pulse of electricity go up your arm and almost feels numb.
What?
And then it like turns yellow and follow.
All right, this little thing is done piss me off now.
It's like hovering right in front of you.
He's like staring at it, just like we're either going. He looks over. Do I beat the hell out of it, or do we go? Because I got to
It's
know.
kind of hovering around, like looking at each of you, and then as it does, it turns red again. It starts to turn red again.
I start walking whichever direction it was already heading.
I think
So that way,
I want to thunder wave this shit.
All right. What kind of save does it need to make?
Thunder wave. Dun, dun, dun. That would be a Constitution saving throw. 2d8.
All right.
4. Total damage would be 5 thunder damage and pushed away 10 feet. If they didn't make it, if they succeeded, then half of that.
So 2.
Yeah.
The little ball light doesn't seem to get thrown back, but it does. It does turn red. It's angry. And I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh shit!
Oh, jeez. It's better than a 4.
Oh no!
Woof. All right, what do we got?
That'd be a 5.
6.
12.
8.
5, 6, 12. All right, well, it goes first, and it is not happy with you at all, Harper. So it's going to take another zap at you. It's not natural. It's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that's hit.
All right. Oh, no. Oh, no. You take 14 lightning damage.
Yeah, he's down.
As it flies at your face, angry. And you just feel like lightning zapping your eyes, and you guys see Harper just go. And
Now,
fall
little
off.
creature,
And then it turns and like hovers at the rest. Actually, you see it like start to descend down towards Harper's body.
That's not good.
And Arphef, it's your turn.
All right. Assuming that am I like within 5-10 feet of Harper?
Yeah, you're all at least within
clustered.
30 feet of there. I imagine you were clustered pretty close when the creature's bouncing around.
Perfect. As the glowing light goes in towards Harper that's in the mud, I'm gonna cautiously go around its approach vector towards Harper to attack
You can
Harper.
see it like lowering down towards his face as you're approaching.
Got it. I'm gonna like touch him on the feet and cast Spare the Dying, so that way he's He's not dying.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look at that ball and say, "All right, we'll follow. We'll follow. I'll carry him. We'll follow." I'm gonna try to dissuade, to dissolve the situation.
Is he still at 0 hit points if you spare the dying?
I think he still is. Yes. Yes.
Make
correct.
me a persuasion check.
Gotcha.
That's a 16.
All right. So you see it like lowering down towards Harper's face, and you see like little tenders of light start to scatter in his nose and like into his mouth, as like little beads of light start to like pulse through him, and then it like stops and like pulses back out and looks to you, and it turns yellow. It says, "Follow," and then like disappears and starts to pulse away again.
I so want to say, no zappy, no eating.
Blobby, we've talked.
Zappy now.
Zappy.
No blobby.
I reach a hand down to Harper to help pull him up out of the mud as he's
He's
now
still
stable.
unconscious, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm at 0.
Oh yeah.
He's just not dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. So he's just stable. Okay, got it. Then I would cast Cure Wounds on him quickly, so that he is no longer at 0. That's 6 points of healing.
Yeah, you feel like your whole body, like your limbs have been asleep, like your arms and legs are really tingly, and like, kind of smack them because just like that static electricity is flowing through you.
I can imagine he lost his hat in the mud and his hair is like all Einsteined out. What happened? He's like all cracked up on Red Bull right now.
And then you hear the voice again, "Follow."
Well, damn, I do
Just
believe.
a ball of light.
I think we're going to have to follow. I mean,
You did hurt it when you thunder waved it.
Did it?
Oh yeah, you definitely heard it, but it's still up. So it's up to you guys. Argon. So yeah, technically, Argon still gets a turn before we can get the cure wounds off. If you wish to, like it. So it's like starts to back away, but it's still pretty close to you. But it turned yellow and like kind of sort of lift up. But it's up to you.
I'm just gonna start to follow.
Start to follow it. And Gorbolwyrm.
Gorbolwyrm.
Gorbolwyrm. Well, if the general consensus is to follow it, then I'll just follow it.
Okay. So you get like an arm up under Harper as he gets to his feet, and the little ball of light seems very happy now as it pleasantly disappears and appears out into the bog. And just saying, "Follow." Thanks.
I have a bad feeling about this, my friends. But I can't take any more zaps to the face like that. Gotta put some wrinkles on you way before it's time.
So you guys start to follow after the wisp. Little wisp of light.
Yeah.
And,
Gotcha.
you follow him for about 10 minutes as it just disappears and appears, and it seems to be hovering over the little raised areas of land, so you can kind of move between them as it just kind of flickers back and forth. And after about 10 minutes, you see a cave in the distance as it lights up once again. Do you guys have torches out or anything while you're going?
I would not have thought to made one because I have dark vision, so that's up to those guys.
Because it is very dark out here.
Yeah, I'd be using a torch.
Okay.
Because I can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are carrying with torches, and yeah, as it disappears and appears one more time, you can see off the edge of the light that it casts, and on the edge of your torch light is the entrance of a cave, roughly 20 feet in diameter, just extending back. There's a bunch of mud out front and muck as it descends into the water itself, and the little ball of light just appears and goes, "Inside, follow," and then disappears and then goes deeper into the cave.
Oh, man. Now you did say we all had a healing potion. Is that
Yeah, sure.
okay?
Like
thank
starting
you.
up with a healing potion.
Did I have time to put my armor on?
Absolutely.
We'll say you did it while you were interrogating the wisp and all this stuff was happening.
Okay.
I forget what a healing potion does. You just took a healing potion. What's it do, Sariph?
No, it's 2d4 plus 4. I'm still clutching my 2d4s.
8.
All right, so it's just glowing at the entrance to the cave, just hovering back and forth, just happily bobbing,
Why do I?
and it just you hear it say "safe."
Well,
Bob back and forth.
well, you can't argue with that now, can you? Pulled us away from that mean old blue man and brought us over here to a safe place to stay for the night. He says sarcastically.
Dig it.
Harper had like a little bit of beard growing, and it's like half of it's just singed off. All right. Well,
So what are you guys doing? It's hovering inside this cave, but it's a little ways up ahead of you. You can see a bunch of mud out in the entrance of the cave, and the stone wall. It just goes in, and then you kind of lose sight as it gets too dark to see with your torch and dark light. Not sure exactly how big the cave is. Without kind of scouting out the area a little more. Little ball lights still just.
Oh, I suppose go into the cave.
Yeah,
Right.
I would probably recommend that we probably have maybe a little bit of distance between us and everything. I mean, I'd be more than happy to go in there first if you all would like, and I could, if I don't come back in 10 minutes, just wait longer for me.
You want us to go ahead?
Well, I do have the power, as we have seen before, to turn one of us invisible. Now, I mean, we could perhaps have a pair of us go in, and the other pair stay at least 30 to 40 feet behind, just in case. Or we could just all go in there as one big group and follow.
Going
I think
invisible
it's
is
best
not-
we stay together.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right, so you're gonna start approaching.
Yeah, I guess we go into
All right.
the cave.
So you guys start stepping into the cave. You see a little ball light like disappear a little bit deeper into it, and you can see that it goes in and kind of curves around to a corner. And as you step through the main entrance of the cave, the wisp turns green. You hear it say, "Food!" And the ground around you starts to shift as you see like a little hand claw out from the mud, and another little hand, and a little set of wings burst out, and a mephit rises up and looks up at you with like a dripping, muddy face, and claws kind of turn at the ready. I need you to roll for initiative.
Well, that's kind of funny. I don't ever remember them being good to eat.
I got a 14 for Argon.
That's a 21 for me. That's another nat 20 on initiative. Arphef is ready to go.
Harper will roll a 22.
Oh, wow.
And 21 for Gorbol.
Oh my gosh, who wants to go first between Gorbo and our...
I've only got a +1 dexterity, so I think if Gorbolwyrm has got me beat,
Yeah.
I think he can go.
Yeah, I'll go +2.
Okay. Jeez, I was like, these guys rolled a 19. They're going to be great.
These guys? Wait a minute.
You see multiple areas of mud start to tremble. Argon, what'd you get?
14?
14. Man, you guys did awesome. Finally. Ooh. All right. Harper, you're the first to go as this little mephit bursts out from the mud and is like looking at you dripping, and like a little set of grinning teeth smiling, and you see 3 more of them burst from the muck in the area immediately around, or sorry, 2 more of them. It's 3 total.
Okay.
Burst out around your party.
How far apart are all these things?
They're probably, I mean, they're right on top of you. Not very far, probably 10 feet total across the 3 of them. They kind of sprout up around the entrance of the cave to ambush you.
All right.
You know that flanking rule thing that we're doing?
Yeah.
Can we stop doing that now?
I was the only one that didn't raise my hand because I didn't know how flanking works anyway. So, so what Harper would like to do is he just wants to go in and just. Let's see. Thunder Wave is each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from me. So he wants to run up to get into that position to see how many he can get If you can get
They're
two
kind
of
of
them.
spread up around you.
Mhm.
I could say you could angle your like push someone back and get two of them in your blast,
Okay.
but that's about it without hurting your party.
Yeah. So if there's
Because
somebody
it's
by,
kind of
so if
ambushed
there's
and crowded up around you.
so if there's somebody by me, then Harper's going to be just shove them out of the way.
Yeah. So you just like give them a knock over 5 feet just so
Yeah.
you can clear the way. Sure.
Yeah, just
we'll,
like-
we'll just get two of them.
He'll shove him, and then he's going to
I need to make
he's
a
going to
save,
do
right?
a second level thunder wave.
Oh man,
Sorry.
what's your DC? Doesn't matter. They both fail.
Yes. DC is actually only a 13. Oh gosh, dang it!
They rolled an 8 and a 6.
5, 6, 7, 8. That will be 9 points of damage, and it'll push them 10 feet away from us.
So you blast, and this echoing ring of thunder rings through the air. You see stone collapse off part of the cave around you as these two methods just go flying back. One of them actually smacks into the stone, and you see it splatter against it. And it's just like a blast of mud, and then like reforms as like a hand crawls out, and it's still angry coming your direction. And the other one just gets blasted down the tunnel a little ways, but they still seem ready to fight, though they are like you see like little holes blasted through them as they're like wobbling.
Holy cow!
Did not seem to like that.
Harper would also like to use a bonus action for Mantle of Inspiration, which is the Glamour Bard feature. So we're going to use an inspiration. So he's going to just kind of like hold up his hands and give this wondrous appearance, like he's just raised from the dead.
Elton John again.
And see, creatures I choose up to Charisma modifier each gain 5 temporary hit points, and they can use a reaction right now to move up to their speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Should have done that first. Maybe you could have hit all 3.
That's true. Charisma modifier. Oh man. Okay. Who's the furthest back?
You're all pretty clustered together, but I mean you're all within like a 5 feet of each other. I'd say 5 or 10 feet.
I believe our war cleric is usually pretty good, beefy on hit points, so I'm going to target myself, Argon, and global warming with the bardic inspiration. So the three of you, the three of us, we can move if we would like, and we all get 5 temporary hit points. Sorry, Arphef, I'll get you next time.
So would you guys like to move? So there's one that's been thrown down the tunnels, kind of out in the open. There's one that's against a wall, and there's one that's still in the middle of the group.
Yeah, I'll move up to the middle of the one in the middle of the group.
Okay. And then Gorbolwyrm, would you like to go to anyone in particular, or?
Yeah, I'll flank the one that Argon's.
Okay. So that's the one right in the middle of you guys. Harper, would you like
Yep.
to move on to one of the others, or are you staying?
No,
here?
he'll stay right. He'll stay right there.
Right.
I just
Gorbolwyrm,
needed the
it's your
temp.
turn.
I needed the temp HP.
I got to his turn rise. He's taking a bite. Mistakes we've done.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is it my go?
Yep.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah, I'll smack the one that's between me and Argon.
All right. You roll with advantage.
Oh, an 18 and a 2, so the 18
That is a
plus,
hit.
what, 4, 22, that's a hit.
This one is at full hit points.
So that's 6 points of bludgeoning.
All right. So you take a smack at it and knock a blast of mud out of it. It seems to like reform. Taking your second strike, or
Yeah.
Okay.
That's got a 22, so that's
another hit.
another 5 points.
All right. Another backhand across the face. Knock the top of his head off. But
Yeah, I'm going to use a key point to flurry of blows. Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, no, don't worry. Yep.
okay,
did
saving it.
Wrong way. Yep.
All right. Arphef, you're up.
So one got blasted out of the tunnel, one got blasted further into the tunnel. Is
One
that
got
what it-
blasted further into the tunnel, one like off to the side and hit the wall, like entryway. They're all still within like 10 feet of you, and all of them are looking pretty rough after those attacks.
Got it. The one that's pushed up against the wall. I'm going to go for him and or that one. I'm going to bang my warhammer against my shield and bonus action cast Shield of Faith as my shield begins to glimmer with extra divine light, and then wade in and swing at this guy with the warhammer. That's a 20.
Oh, nice.
And that's 4 points of damage.
All right. So you smash it against the wall, and it almost pops once again, like splatters. And then you see that little hand like reaching out again. It's barely holding itself together as it gives out a cry, and then swipes at you in retaliation as it's their turn for a natural 1. So your just magical shield, it just glances off, can't even get close to hitting you as it's still falling apart. You see the mud dripping off of its arm. The one that got knocked down the tunnel comes and flanks over in the backside of you, Gorbolwyrm. He's going to attack you with advantage because he's got a buddy in your group.
Keyword flanks.
Yeah. That is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And you take 5 points of slashing or bludgeoning damage as it punches at you. This little mud fist dirties up your face as it swipes across. And the other one is going to take his attack on you as well.
I would like to impose disadvantage with my protection.
Do it. All right. I'm just going to reroll. And that is a miss. All right. So it goes to swipe, and you bring up a shield and just smack it out of the way just in time. And as you do that, Argon, you don't have dark vision. Do you have a torch?
Yes.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 5. Or no, it's an 8. An 8. My bad.
Okay.
Argon, your dice.
It's my witch dice.
You see the wisp still kind of like glowing in the tunnels, like hovering back and forth. It's like glowing bright green at this point, kind of pulsing, but it's just holding its position. And I guess... oh, Harper, you do have dark vision. You see run around the corner of the cave and start running in the direction of your group. A tiny, like, dog... Oh, a little brain with legs. One's around the corner. It's got like little dog legs.
Seriously?
It's just charging down the pathway through the mud, running in the direction of your party.
Is this something that he would know? Or,
Make me an Arcana check.
oh my gosh.
I'm sure all of you know what it is
Yeah.
as players.
Oh, that's good. Arcana with no modifier, a 19.
That's an intellect devour. You should probably protect your brain.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't get to the party, but it runs around the corner, and it's probably about 20
Harper
feet away from you in the cave.
We're just going to stut a few times, and he's kind of like reaching back with it. He's like staring at it, but trying to, guys, hey, guys, there's a brain eater. It's coming our way. Remember that one time in Waterdeep there's one coming at us.
Argon, you hear that, and it is your turn.
Oh no. Can I like drop my torch?
Yeah.
I need a hand for my spear. I'm gonna hit the method really hard. With advantage?
Oh, yeah, sure. You're still flanking.
I need it. Yes. That is a 21.
To hit?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it's a hit.
That is 8 points of piercing damage with the spear.
All right. You stab with your spear, and as you strike it through, it explodes. I need both you and a Gorbolwyrm to make me dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
Mud on the water.
13.
All right. Mud splatters all over you, but you manage to shake it off. Your feet are kind of getting stuck to the floor, but you manage to peel them out in time to not get trapped in place.
14.
Same thing. Gorbolwyrm, you managed to like dodge out of the way of most of the muck and cast it to the side. Anything else, Argon?
That'll be my turn.
All right, Harper, back to you. You see this little legged brain running over towards you.
Oh, hell no.
There's one method left kind of in the party. It's on the other side of Gorbolwyrm. And there's one that Arphef's got against the wall that's like barely holding itself together.
Yeah, I'm taking my rapier and I am going to try to stab it.
All right. You will have advantage because there's just a group of you clustered up around this guy now.
Yeah. All right. Advantage. Oh, thank goodness, because one of those was a 1. 11 and 5. 16.
It's a hit.
Yay.
What's that damage?
7 points of piercing damage.
As you skewer it through the head and slice your blade out, it like twists for a moment, and then as it falls, just explodes out with another vicious blast of mud. I need all 3 of you to make dexterity saving throws.
This was the intellect.
Sorry. Oh, you were hitting the intellect devour?
Yes.
Never mind. Sorry, you ran down the tunnel. So you struck.
Yeah, I'm going after that then.
Sorry. 8 points of damage, was it?
Yeah.
All right, so you stab down into the little brain. Purple blood starts to drip out onto your rapier. You rip it back out, and the creature like turns and looks at you with like little bendy legs, and you can feel a headache start to set in just as it looks at you.
You son of a...
Gorbolwyrm, sorry about that. I thought you were attacking the Mephit.
No, you're fine.
That's my go.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay, I'll chase after Harper and go for the intellect devourer.
One of the Mephits is going to get an attack of opportunity on you as you run.
Can I give him disadvantage?
Yes, you can. That is a 16 and a nat 20. Is a 16 a hit against you?
I got disadvantage though because of.
Yeah, I rolled a 16
and a 20.
and a natural 20. So
How does he get 2 attacks with this? With
Oh, sorry. He had. You're right. That's with. Well, that's with disadvantage. He rolled 2 dice. The lower one was a 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, yeah, that's still a hit.
All right. So. He hits you for 3 bludgeoning damage as you run down the pathway.
All right. And I'll flurry of blows the intellect devourer.
Just going in with the karate chop.
No, start kicking it.
Okay, can I just punt down the hallway? Seems like a good play. All right, give me those attack rolls.
That's a 24 for the first one. 23, sorry. 17 for the second.
Another hit.
And 16.
3 hits.
Sorry, it's very dark. And lost the D4. Lost my D4, so I used a D8. So that's
divided by 2.
Yeah.
See if you can kill it. This changes the. What happens here matters a lot.
Okay. So that's total of 12. So that's 6 points of damage plus another 2. So that's 12 points of damage. No bludgeoning.
So you kick and stomp on the little brain and smash these little legs splay out, and it like gives out a squeal, and you can see its leg still twitching as after you give that last stomp, it pushes itself back up to its feet, bloodied and battered, and whee! Gets a little squeal and looks over your direction. Still alive.
Yeah, that's not good.
And we're on to Arphef. You see your teammates over there skewering and stomping on this little brain creature. You've got a Mephit in front of you that's looking very, very weak. The little brain creature's got purple blood splattered all over the ground. It's not looking good.
Got it. Well, I'm going to engage with the one in front of me and swing that Warhammer one more time.
Get it.
That's a 21 to hit.
That is a solid hit.
And then 7 points of damage this time.
Right. It explodes. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as you smash it against the wall and it erupts.
Oh, there it is.
That is a 9 on the dex
You
saving
are
throw.
restrained as mud blasts all over your body, and your feet just become plastered to the ground. You're trying to get away, but you just can't. All right.
Got it. So that burns the movement. I've got a bonus action, but that's not going to work. So I will end my turn.
All right. That is the lone Mephit's turn. It's going to swipe at. I think. No, Harper ran up. Argon.
A&M.
You're still there?
Yeah.
He's going to take one swipe at you for a hit for 6 bludgeoning damage as he smacks at you. And then we're going to just random roll this one. I need Gorbolwyrm to roll me. What is it? I need to roll 3d6. I think it is. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, cool. I've got a really good bonus for that. That's a natural 20.
Glad you did it, man, because I wouldn't be able to roll that.
Legs and wheels, and you feel your head just splitting as the worst headache of your life goes through. It feels like your brain's about to explode out of your skull, and then you just shake and drive the pain away, and you see the little creature just like cowered down on the floor, and like it's blood, and it seems quite frightened at this point. You see the wisp starts to float away out of the cave and out into the bog.
It's gonna go get some more.
And Argon, is your turn.
I would like to throw my spear at the wisp. I'm going.
Ooh, good.
Wisp, okay. Make an attack.
Dirty 20?
That's a hit.
That would be 7 points.
Nice. So you throw your spear and manage to clip the ball of light. It hits it, falls off into the ground. You see it like spiral down and then twist back out and then keep floating, like limping a little bit as it flutters.
And
You
then
summon your spear back.
Yep, bonus action, summon my spear back.
So, all right. Anything else?
That'll be it.
Gorbolwyrm, you're up. Your head's still hurting. Like your ears are ringing. You see this little creature cowering down, like making this weird squealing sound as it's kind of like cowering away from you a bit.
And don't forget too, you have those 5 temporary hit points.
No, gone through those already.
Nope.
Yeah, give it a smack. What's that? 13.
That is a hit on the Devourer.
Yep.
All right.
And
I had 1 hit
21.
point. I had 1 hit
Alright.
point. First attack, just squish it into the ground. Just pop.
Okay. Oh, in that case, the 21, I'll attack the. Can I move over to the last method and
Totally.
smack it with my bonus action?
Punch it.
So that was a 21 for that. And
Alright,
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. And I need you and I think it's just you needs to make me a dex save because it explodes. But that's the last of the method.
Be within melee of it.
Huh?
I should be within melee range too.
Of the last method?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, so you need to make the dex save as well.
That's
got
that was a dex save, was it?
It's dex save. It's DC 11. Yep.
Oh my god.
DC 11. Well, I failed it by 7.
All right.
8.
You're stuck in the mud trying to get free.
No,
Can with
I got
the wisp
no,
is
failed
floating
by
as
6.
fast as it can. And Arphef, it's your turn. You see the little brain creature's dead. All of the methods are dead. You're still stuck in the mud. Can't seem to break free. But you see the wisp floating away.
How far away is the wisp?
It got about 30 feet outside of the mouth of the caves. It's probably about 30 feet away from you.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at this thing and yell "Stay" as the light flashes at it very
All right.
loudly. So it's a
Follow.
ranged spell attack. Natural 20, hand of God. I don't know if it matters on spell damage, but boom.
It does.
Follow.
So that's 46, 4d6s, 12, and then one more. So that's 14 is the roll, and then do I double it or do I roll an extra set of attack?
I think you add 30.
Keep rolling if you'd like.
Yeah,
We'll
you just roll
double
another
it.
4.
Okay,
Or
so that's
double it, yeah.
that was 14. We'll roll another 4. 14, that's another 14 is 28. One more dice. 29. So I got 29 total.
What color is your guiding bolt?
Oh, it's a bright divine light. It's just all it is. Bright white light that shoots out
My light
across.
just blasts and illuminates the bog around it with this light. You see like frogs looking that duck down into the muck as it spirals through, and you see the wisp kind of like turn and say, "Please!" and it just explodes in a blast of light as green light shatters to every direction, and there's nothing left after the attack, and the bog goes calm.
Well, yeah, Harper will just turn around and look and, well done there, Argon and Arphef, not letting that little creature get away. What the hell is going on around these parts? That's all I gotta say. We've got marine creatures, we got crocodiles. Yeah, we've got to get out of this place. I really need a drink. We need to find ourselves a little town, a little village, something.
So, what would you like to do?
Completely agree. If we look back out the cave, the direction that we came, were we walking in a straight line as far as we could tell, coming from the house?
Yeah, pretty straight line. Would you like to explore the cave?
No. But I'll leave
Well,
that to everybody else.
Well, I want to get out of this mud.
Doesn't seem to be a very big cave.
It is or isn't?
Seem to be. It curves around the corner, and you can't tell it's on the other side.
Well,
But that's where the intellect devourer came from. So, you know.
all right. I'll walk around the corner and kind of. I'll scope it out for us. Maybe there's a Holiday Inn over there or something.
So you go and like peek around the corner, and the cave only extends for about another 30 feet. And hanging on the back wall, there's like a piece of sharpened bone, almost looks like a finger, has been like stabbed into the stone, and hanging from it is a rope, and it's attached to two bullywug skulls with their jaws torn off the bottom. And then on the ground in front of them are like the corpses of the bullywugs with like their clothing and weaponry and like a couple burlap pouches at their feet.
Well, isn't that interesting? There's something
That's
I'm
all
going to
it seems
check
to be.
out. What's that?
That's all that seems to be in here of note. There's like some rocks and other stuff, but
All right. Harper would probably get within a couple feet of it and kind of just look it over and see if maybe there's a trap or any kind of arcane markings or anything of that. What did you say? I'm sorry.
make a perception check.
Perception. 7.
Don't see any traps, but it's like even like you're at dark vision, but still you're in a cave, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You see
So
next to one of the bullywugs, there's a bag that's like tipped over, and you see like a gold coin is poured out onto the floor. And the other one, like but they're just corpses, like they're skeletal remains, as they're just flopped there on the ground.
but you say it's like almost like a spear or a rod or something with a rope and the two skulls.
There's a
hanging from
piece
it?
of bone that's been impaled in the stone, and then there's like a rope that's connecting the two skulls together. So it's like hanging down, touching. The jaws have been ripped off. So there's like these big bullywug skulls, like huge eye sockets, just staring out at you, and the rest of their bodies are laying on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna grab it.
The skulls or the bodies or the bag?
I thought the thing, are they attached with ropes?
Yeah, like you can go and pick up the skulls if you'd like.
Yeah, I want to take that with the ropes and stuff.
Take it. Bullywug skulls.
Okay. I want
Throw it over
to
your
I want to hold it where they kind of bump heads a little bit,
Yeah,
make some sound.
Clatter together when you hold it.
Nice.
There's a hollow echo.
All right, and then that's all I want. I'll walk back around. I found this. And I'll make the little noise where they clunk 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 clunk. What are you looking at me like that for?
What's this bog doing to you, Harper?
Did you want to take the gold coin?
No. I'm good. I don't see no tavern around here. That gold coin can just lay there. There's a gold coin in there if y'all want it, but I was more impressed with the skulls.
And it's very clear that the lower jaw is missing.
Oh yeah. And it's kind of violently splintered off, and they're nowhere to be seen.
Harper, are you sure we want to collect those? Well, I guess if we're looking for the hag, this is probably a good way to get her to find us. If we start taking her skulls, we could use it to try to draw her out. Maybe once we've rested.
Arphef, not that I'm questioning your methods at all, but why exactly do we need to draw this hag out?
Well, if Kurg is to be believed, that's the only way we can leave this bog.
Oh, right on. Okay, I gotcha. I'm sorry, my brain's still a little electrocuted from that little blinking light that we seen a little bit ago. I'm actually still just trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong and what's, I'm not even sure if I'm still alive. Honestly, I might still be laying in that mud back there.
We have been through a lot.
Yeah, but whatever you all want to do, I'm totally good with it. I'm gonna take my little prize here and see what we can do.
All right. No one else wants to explore the rest of the cave?
Knowing that that's what he chose to bring back, I'm not going to peek around the corner.
You guys want to try to make your way back to Kurg's place?
We can try.
All right. You can try, or do you want to post up camp here for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
No, this feels like a known hunting place for the hag.
So you guys try to follow a straight path as well as you can back to Kurg's place. It takes you a little bit longer than your trip here, but you do manage to stumble upon it after 12 minutes or so of staggering through the bog. You see your campfire still burning way off in the distance to the left of where you were going. You're like, thank goodness, and you divert your path and walk a few hundred yards over that way and find your way back to his home.
Nice.
Nothing seems to have been disturbed here.
Well, that does it for my watch.
All right, so you guys go and lay down. Gorbolwyrm, you're going on watch.
Yeah, and Harper's going to put those two
I'll go
skulls
on
out front as kind of like menacingly to ward anything away, maybe.
All right, so you guys go lay down. Gorbolwyrm, you sit up on your watch. You guys stoke the fire a little more. You hear some strange creatures, you hear like a creature being attacked and killed out in the bog at one point that startles you. But besides that, things seem pretty calm throughout your watch. And Argon, as we get into your watch, about halfway through, you're sitting there and looking out in the bog, and you swear you feel like the hairs on your arms start to raise up, and you feel your arms start to tingle, and you kind of grasp against your legs. You kind of recognize the feeling of that electricity flowing through. You're like, oh no. And before you can really do anything, you feel your body start to stiffen pretty immediately as you feel your hands and legs just stop moving. And even as you feel your jaw kind of starts clenching and your whole body just kind of freezes, you see a shadow out on the edge of the forest start to move amongst the trees. And you hear the light splashing of footsteps in the water. What would you like to do? You find yourself unable to move. You're just paralyzed. You're not sure what's causing it, but your body's just not responding to anything. You can't move your mouth open speak, but you can make sounds.
I'm gonna make. Wait. Every bit of muffled yelling. Try to wake these people up.
All right. Make me some perception checks. Those people who are asleep.
That's a 12.
Perception. First time I rolled a d12, so that didn't work. It's in the dark. Dirty 20.
So, Harper,
That's
your
a
eye.
12 for me.
All right, so everyone wakes up, but you guys immediately, like, you open your eyes, and there's just this sleep paralysis taking over. You open your eyes, and you're like, I can't move. Why can't I move? As you're just, like, laying on your backs in your bedrolls, like, looking up at the skies. You, like, move your eyes over, and you can see Argon, like, sitting off, like, looking over the bog, just frozen in place. Making these sounds. You can't, like, roll your body over to look at him any better. You just can see the sky above, and Argon, you see, like, stumbling out of these woods, like, moving over in your direction, this kind of prowling stance. A woman's silhouette starts to appear, and as she gets closer to the fire, your eyes, can finally see. And you see this woman with kind of green skin, decrepit old woman with, like, white hair that tumbles down to, like, down past her thighs, to, like, her knees. You see she's got, like, jagged, rotted teeth in her mouth, yellowed and snarling. Her eyes are white. They remind you of Kurg's, and that she essentially should be blinded, you think. You see each of her fingers ends in a claw. Her feet are still submerged in the bog as she's just moving forward, and you see, like, a smile twist on her face as she walks over in your direction. And she just steps right over the bells as you see her, like, approaching, like, eyes wide, smiling, twisting over in your direction. And she just kind of kneels down in front of you and, like, runs a hand along your face as she's just smiling. She's like, no, not you. And you see her, like, look over, and the rest of you can kind of, like, hear this voice whisper. You're still, like, unable to move. You can, like, move your eyes over and perhaps see her hair tussling in the breeze as you're here. And you see her eyes go and fix on Harper. She says, the arrogant one. And she starts to walk over in your direction. And so she goes over to you, and you're still, like, frozen in place looking up as she leans over, and you see a big smile looking down at you. And she reaches down and kind of places a hand tenderly underneath your chin and kind of, like, strokes it a little bit. And then you hear kind of some rustling in the ground nearby. And then you see her hold up what looks to be a needle. And she kind of holds it in the moonlight for a moment, sets it down. She pulls out a hatchet, holds that up, and, like, runs it along her palm for a moment. And then finally pulls out a knife with these deeply serrated edges, looks to be made of bone. And she kind of smiles, turns back to you, and you see her just grabs your head with one hand and puts the blade inside your mouth as you struggle and you just can't move. You're, like, I imagine, screaming at this point. She says, don't play these games if you're not prepared for the consequences. That's exactly right. And just slices open from the cheek all the way out, and you just feel blood start to rush down your body. Other side, though, she presses against the cheek, slices out, and then just gets to carving as she cuts down the bottom, and you're filled with agony. You feel her just carving away at your jaw through the flesh. You guys can hear these sickening, gushing sounds, and probably Harper giving gargled, agonizing screams. And she's just, shh, it'll be just fine. And just cuts and cuts. And then finally you see her rip it off and hold up above you, like blood dripping on your face. You can feel it splattering, but still can't move. She goes and, like, puts it on this necklace of jawbones that she has hanging around her neck. And with the others, the others are all bone, but this one's still got the flesh attached. She just hooks it there. And then she seems to tuck the knife back into whatever she had, rolls it up. I'll be seeing you soon. And then wanders back off into the bog. And so as you guys wake up, Harper, you wake up and you feel like all of you have this minute of sleep paralysis come over you. When you wake up, you can't move still. And it's terrifying because you see her walk away, and the next thing you know, you're waking up and it's bright out. Harper, you can't, your jaws just clench shut and you have this, like, agonizing pain in your face. But after about a minute, you guys finally start to get it together, and you reach up and you feel like everything's in place. But as you look down, you can see that your shirt is just stained, like, dark red. Your clothing's just been muddled with what looks to be blood stains. And you, like, reach up and you feel like there's a piece of dried blood on your cheek. As you look over, you can see that same knife that she had is sticking out of a tree, just stabbed into the wood. And there's a note that it's stabbed through.
Sure. I'm gonna look at the note.
It just says, "Be seeing you soon."
Right.
And your bullywug skulls are gone.
Gosh, damn it. Gosh, damn it.
Yeah, there, you see, like, as you pull the knife out, the end of it's still stained with blood. It's dried at this point, but you're like, what's happening?
Pull it out and look at it and drop it on the ground. And he's probably going to just be quiet at this point and just kind of massaging his jaw.
Yeah, it's like stiff. Like, it hurts. But you're okay. And yeah, like a minute or two later, the door opens up and Kurg kind of he throws open the shutters, yeah, and then like opens the door.
How'd you fare your first night?
Not great.
Did the children of the forest call to you?
Were they the lights?
Oh, you saw the lights. No, not them. Those are not her creatures. They're just attracted to the death.
Gosh damn it.
Bad omens those are. Be sure if you see one to stay far away.
Next time,
Wise advice.
He looks over to you, Harper.
Are you all right? You seem less confident than you were the previous night.
I'm just fine. How the hell do we get out of here again? Yeah, I think I need to do that.
It's up to her. As I said, if you get her attention, she may lead you to her home. It's up to her, though. She controls everything here. We're in her domain.
What exactly? Oh, gosh damn, it hurts to talk. What exactly?
Right. Was the crocodile meat too big for your human jaws?
It was probably the vision I seen and that whole story you told kind of came to me in a nightmare. I don't know if it was something that, I don't know what it was.
She visited you in your dreams.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I've heard of this, her doing this to others, since omens to them. Was it just you?
And he kind of looks to the rest of the group.
Yeah, so does Harper.
Yeah, I guess you have discussed it.
And we all saw that as well, right?
Oh
Through
yeah,
our
you
dreams?
totally,
Oh, yeah.
you might not have been able to look, but you could like hear the sounds and hear her laughing and see her hair like as it drifted up. Like you can only move your eyes over, but like what you could see, like him huddling over his body, just carving away. And yeah.
They're like, I saw her approach.
Oh yeah, you saw everything because you were like out on
Right.
watch. I imagine you're just kind of sitting up, looking out over the area. But
She took my bullywugs.
Or what? Speak up, son.
No, sorry, nothing. It's not that big a deal. Oh, I feel like I was one of them prize fights in the city of Waterdeep there. My jaw just got disconnected. Y'all gonna have to excuse me for a minute. He's just gonna start downing some water and just trying to.
Is Waterdeep still around?
Right?
Glad to see the world outside of this place is still going. So what's your plan for today?
he just kind of smiles.
Quickly, the direction where the knife was in the tree that she had walked, was it in the same direction that we followed last night, or is it like if we're facing out from the tree, which direction does it appear to be?
It was it's not the same direction as a wisp. It's like almost directly across the house from where Kurg lives, like the nearest little haven. It gets out a little ways because there's no trees in his front yard, so it was like across the way, stuck into the tree with that note.
Well, perhaps that's our best direction to start today. And I'll point towards a note.
Left a message for you. That's encouraging. She must like you. I mean, she'll
I don't-
play games with you.
I don't think it's just, I think it might be him that she likes. And I point towards Harper.
Yeah, I think she's got a thing for me.
It's
I'm
good or
not
bad
sure.
depending on your motivations.
Yeah, I think she wants my job, but I think I'd just be better served off telling her the sweet stories or something.
I wish you luck.
So once we see these visions, is there any kind of advantage that we may have on her?
Means you're getting closer. It's the best
Closer
I can do.
to
Her revealing herself to you. Only after she's thoroughly tormented you will she finally take you. And ultimately, she leaves it to you.
I understand.
It's your decision if you wish to run or try to fight her.
Now, has there ever been folks that maybe just one of the group was what do you say, claimed by her? Maybe the rest of them got away. That
There
ever
was
happened?
once, 10 years ago, 2 went in, 2 came back. The others were too cowardly to enter her cabin, as it were. I saw them a few times over the next year, and then one day they just stopped coming back. I think something else out here must have gotten them.
I see. Oh,
What do you know about the cave?
Which one?
The one with the brain and feet.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking about. This place changes all the time. I've never seen such a creature.
That's unsettling.
Why did you leave?
No.
Arphef is like bobbing his head yes in the background.
I told you how dangerous it is to travel through here at night. I'm surprised you made it back.
yeah, so we.
Well, if you made it through that, then perhaps you are more capable than I initially thought. Give her time. If you see a cabin surrounded by corn, you found her.
Surrounded by corn, you say? Harper will turn and look at his comrades and just be like, I'm not really into playing these games. Either she's going to take us or she's not, but I'm ready to get the hell out of this place.
Aye.
I'm ready to die trying. I ain't putting up with this no stuff.
Damn sorry.
I still think this is a little bit of hogwash, but he'll turn back to Kurg. You have any idea what this cabin might be?
Changes depending on the day. May not even be here for all I know. But I know she shows it to you when she's ready to show it to you. When she's decided she's either done playing with you or is ready to take things to the next step. That's how my brother died. He went inside. I stayed outside. He didn't come back out. And then his corpse was left in front of our tree the next morning.
That's definitely disturbing. I am sorry for your loss on that.
Krug was a good man.
Well, what say you, my friends? What exactly is our plan? Are we adventurers? Are we going to find our way out of this, or are we going to let her just torment and tour with us?
Of course, you typically see skulls as you're getting closer. That's kind of her breadcrumb to the cabin in the woods, if you will.
Losing a little bit of your voice there, Stephen.
She'll leave skulls for you to find. It's her breadcrumbs to her cabin in the woods, if it were.
So if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, we were to find maybe a couple of skulls in like a cave or something that didn't have any like jaws attached, would you say we're getting a little close?
Most likely. That means you've caught her attention.
Nice.
The more you
Okay.
see, the closer you are.
Sorry, did you say the more we see, the closer we are? Is that what you said? Okay.
All right. So what are you guys doing from here?
Oh, there you go.
Did my sound get up
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's back
Sounds
up.
better.
now? Sorry, I think I might have come unplugged a little bit.
You're fine.
You're good.
All right.
Harper's gonna go out the front and run like a son of a bitch. Get the hell out of here.
Argon's on your heels.
It's time to get out of here, boys.
Was there like a rock formation on top of the cave that we were at? Like, could we climb that cave to the top and try to see even further than we have so far?
I try to climb to the cave. As you run out that way, though, you guys kind of take off in that direction. You run for a little while, and you're like, it was definitely here in the middle of the night, and there's just bog.
Gosh, damn it.
And you kind of sweep through the area, looking around, and there's like no sign of anything that you saw the previous night.
I have a
Your
spell called.
footsteps in the area.
I have a spell called Find Corn.
Fine corn.
Sorry. Damn it. Well, it's just it was right here, wasn't it?
I believe so.
I mean, I'm not the best navigator, but I thought for sure it was right here.
As you're kind of walking through, you get on one of these areas of high ground, and you step forward, Harper, and you like feel a squish, and you like pick up your shoe, and you look down, and there's like a little brain stuck to the bottom of your boot. You see like legs flopping off the side, but it's just out in the middle of the bog.
Would you all look at this?
Peel it off.
Global Woman, does this look like what we just killed last night?
He's gone.
That looks fairly similar.
He's invisible. Cast invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just need to go and wash my face. Oh, feeling a bit sick. I'll be back in a sec.
You're fine.
All right. So yeah,
Oh,
you
look at
guys.
that. Global Woman's over there getting sick.
This bog claims the mind and the body.
So yeah, you guys continue wandering, searching through the area, and as you just kind of meander through the bog, trying to find a way out, you eventually see the bog kind of level out and become less swamp-like up ahead of you, as the ground levels and the water goes away, and it just becomes like almost a field with trees along it, and the trees seem to be relatively healthy. They're not covered in the same blight that you've seen from all the other trees, and it almost looks like you're walking into an ordinary forest in front of you, and for a moment, are we out? Because it looks very reminiscent of the forest that you saw on the edge of, like, before you hit the bog.
Guys, we did it.
Hey, thank goodness. I think that is just like a nightmare place or something. Something messing with my mind. Big giant blue people and losing my jaw.
I'm going to look out behind the direction that we came to just double check what's behind us.
Yeah, still the bog behind you. But you see this kind of forest up ahead of you of normal trees and ground.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how far back was that town? I need a drink.
I don't know that I necessarily trust this, guys, but if this is the direction that we're meant to go, that the hag wants us to go, then perhaps we should continue.
By the way, did we get a long rest?
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry.
Sweet.
Not a great rest, but a long one.
It was long. It wasn't a good rest.
Right.
You did heal up.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, what do you make of this here, Argon? I mean, I think we're free.
That's what it would look like.
Yeah. I mean, do we go back and we help that big blue dude or no? Oh, thank
I
you.
don't really want to deal with crocodiles again,
I understand that. That's a healthy fear to have.
let alone little nightlights and brains.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely not in favor of those little squishy things.
So do you guys continue into the forest?
Aye.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, you guys walk into the forest and you're passing back through the trees. The smell has lightened up. There's no more of this muck everywhere. Harp, you feel like your shoes are starting to clean off a bit as you wipe them on the grass. And then the forest starts to open up before you as you see a field. And as you kind of pass through the edge of the trees, you see like a large wrought iron fence going around the air with spikes on the top. And you see a large sign hanging over a metal gate that says the Safe Haven Cemetery. And you see inside it are rows of gravestones. The doors are hanging wide open, free for entry, and you see, yeah, that's just what you see from the edge of the trees.
Harper, I thought you said we were safe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I leading this group? My apologies. I was just running, trying to get out of that damn swamp. If you know what I'm saying. I kind of, understand that you were frightened with fear last night, but you didn't feel the tendons in your jaws be separated from the rest of your face. I'm still kind of feeling a little bit, kind of like when you chomp down on the unbroken kernel of a piece of popcorn, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
I don't. All right. So what do you guys do? You come out and the gates are open right in front of you. It looks to be about 120 feet on each side. Most of the gravestones from this distance you can see are pretty worn and weathered, but you do see like a line in the center, even from this distance you can make out that look to be like polished brand new gravestones lined up.
Oh.
I want to look at them.
Yeah, deep down in Harper's gut, he's just like, oh, shit. I think my name's going to be on one of them.
Yep.
So you guys getting a bit closer and you're kind of like looking out. I imagine you're not going inside just yet, just like looking in. There's like the wrought iron gates and you see these nice marble gravestones. And yeah, sure enough, if you squint and look, you can see each of your names written on them. And then the date you were born, or the year you were born, and then a dash, and then the current year. And then next to each of these graves is a big old pile of dirt with a shovel sticking out of it. And at the head of each of these gravestones is a skull that matches your own with the jaw removed. So there's a Dragonborn skull sitting in front of Gorbolwyrm's and an Eldritch skull next to yours. And a Dwarven skull, so forth.
Y'all ever hear that saying, from the fire into the frying pan?
Aye.
This one I have heard of.
Yeah. Y'all have any of that magic that just totally gets you the hell out of these things?
Like a teleport or something. Magic circle, like what are we teleportation circle? Or
that deity that you pray to every once in a while, especially after you had a few too many to drink. How about you give that god a call real quick?
He has never traveled me somewhere safely, unfortunately.
Right. Okay.
we stay here and train until we're strong enough to teleport out.
We're going to be killing a lot of boars.
That's right.
All right.
A lot of crocs.
We all
So what would you guys like to do here?
Quickly, so we're on solid, flat, like grassy field.
Yeah, it's
I
like
wanna-
beautiful. You're in the middle of a forest. You're like in a clearing in the middle of a forest.
I want to jump in place and see if I can hear the squishing of mud beneath me, even though I don't see anything there.
Make me a
Is that-
perception check.
That's another nat 20. I love this
You
D20
feel
wall.
very confident that the ground beneath you is real.
Got it.
It's a very, very strong illusion that's confusing all of your senses. The ground seems very solid. You can smell like the trees. It's very distinct. Like that dead air smell is no longer there. Everything seems normal.
What are you trying to do there, Arphef? What'd you find?
Found nothing. I fear this bog is taking my mind as well.
I want to go into the graveyard.
All right. So Argon, you kind of like peer through and you walk through the open gates and you kind of expect them to slam shut, but they remain open. And as you pass through, you feel like the hair on your neck stand up again, like goose flesh break out along your arms. It almost feels like the temperature drops 5 degrees as you step through. Just like, and some of those same smells rush back to you, just that smell of death and decay. But nothing happens.
What do you see in there, Argon?
Smells
jumps.
like hell. Oh, perception check.
Sure.
That's a 7.
You don't see anything moving around you. Yeah, like I said, it feels a little bit colder. You have this weird sensation sweep over you, but besides that, it's like when you get a chill down your spine, that hits you. But beyond that, you seem relatively okay. You notice as you look through, there are in fact holes in front of the graves, or the gravestones for each of you in the center.
She's already got holes buried.
They're open. Yeah.
All right.
And there's big old piles of dirt next to them.
Harper will cautiously walk in and stand next to Argon and kind of help survey the area.
You don't seem to get that same feeling of chill down your spine when you walk in.
But we see
Just walk in, you're like, this is weird.
We see
You see the holes and stuff. Yeah.
holes and open graves. Harper wants to go over and look at the skull that's on his tombstone, and he wants to pick it up and look at it.
And you pick it up and look, and you're like, you can't, what does your own skull look like? But you're like, it's elvish, it's a little more slender, and you can look through, and it seems pretty convincing. Looking down into the hole, there is a coffin down there with the lid slid off to the side. There's one in each of them that matches like the height of your character. There's a little bit shorter one for Arphef, but there's those.
But we can see there's nothing in it, though.
They're currently empty.
Are there other gravestones besides the 4 of ours in this place?
Yeah, there's a lot of gravestones. All the names seem to be like weathered away, and it's just like deteriorating bits of stone. Some of them have crumbled. You see like wilted away bouquets of flowers in front of a few of these. But yeah, none of the names are discernible. It seems to be very specifically highlighting you.
I would walk over towards the rest of the group and get closer as well.
Are you entering the graveyard? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you get a little bit closer looking at that.
Yeah, I'll enter the graveyard as well.
Okay.
I look over at Harper. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You got Dragonborn skull sitting right in front of your gravestone, looking out at you.
Mm-hmm.
I look over to Harper. What's it like to hold your own skull? I ask as I go to reach for my own.
Well, I am going to say that this has got to be some kind of one of them tricks that you see when we go to them festivals in them bigger cities. This is pretty convincing and all, but I'm not believing that. I'm thinking she's playing with us or something.
Well, I disagree with her presumed death for me, and I take my skull, or not, I take the skull, the dwarf skull, and I go and I toss it into the coffin.
Oh, nice. Just drop it down in there. Okay. And like as it hits, it like shatters to a bunch of pieces and ruptures into the coffin. So it's just like fragments of skull scattered through the area. You kind of look over the area and you notice out of the corner of your eye, Argon's grave, there's been an additional text that's appeared at the bottom of it that says, "You'll never leave this place."
Do we all see that, or is it?
You all see it. And it was like while you were looking around, all of a sudden this text just seemed to be inscribed there. And you're positive it was not there like a little bit ago.
Following Arphef's lead, Harper's going to take his skull and he's gonna throw it down as well. He's going to try to smash it. He's frustrated at this point. He's like, just going to grab it and just start smashing it on the gravestone.
Okay. Yeah, just throw it down in there and are just smashing it. And as you do, you can hear like chunks of stone falling next to you. And you kind of turn and look, and the front of the gravestone just says futility written, like it's just carved into the stone, written all over the front of it, like even going over your name and the dates on it.
I do the same with mine.
Yeah, and like it just smashes, and yours it just the text in it just stays highlighted.
As they do that, I'm going to take the shovel and start to fill the dirt into mine, as though to bury just the skull. Yeah.
Okay, just shoveling it in, and you see on yours just like ha 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 ha, like showing up along the front of the grave. It just starts carving itself out of the stone, and like little bits fall in.
What about you there, global woman? What you doing?
Gorbolwyrm.
I understand. I only do that because it gets on you a little bit. What are you thinking about all this?
She's playing with you, and you are playing back.
Well,
Argon, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this is the worst one. As a 17.
All right, you feel this compulsion to climb down into that coffin.
Oh yeah.
But you're like all of a sudden it's just like when you're looking over a cliff and you're like, I want to jump, kind of. It's kind of the same thing. You're like, I want to go down in there.
Yeah, it's called
and
the Call of the Void.
It hits you really, really hard. It almost pulls you in.
I didn't need to say it for that.
can we kind of tell that something's going on with Argon, or?
Yeah, you seem like staring down fixatedly into the hole probably for a little bit.
Argon, you all right?
Yeah. Nothing.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, what do we propose we do at this point in this juncture of the story?
I continue to shovel dirt. Does it appear to be filling the hole at all, or?
You're filling the hole. Nice and fine. And you see the words kind of fall or carve themselves into Gorbolwyrms, just as you're no fun.
Maybe Arphef, maybe you got something going on there. And Harper will start to follow suit, and he starts filling in his.
Yeah, start shoveling into that hole and filling the coffin, but yeah, you're not feeling any resistance or anything. Everything seems fine.
All right. And with that, give me 60 seconds, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
As I
Gorbal
finish,
will
go ahead.
Gorbal will just sit down and start meditating.
Argon?
If I get, sorry, go ahead.
You're over. What do you want to do?
I really
I would just keep filling until it's full, and once it's full,
within just a couple minutes, just big old.
Is there
powder.
is there like a great Undertaker shed or something around?
No. Seems to be a non-standard area.
I'm gonna try filling in the hole.
Okay. Make me another wisdom saving throw.
That's a 9.
You grab a shovel and get a thing of dirt, and you go to fill it in. And you're like, you just can't. You seem unable to do so.
Going in the hole.
Like your body's just not letting you,
Right.
and that compulsion to go in is hitting you again.
I just pencil dive into the grave.
Just dive down, and there's a coffin with the lid off, just sitting down at the bottom of this hole.
I want to turn it over. I want to.
Yeah, you pick up the coffin, there's just dirt underneath, and as you touch it, you feel this overwhelming compulsion to get inside. It's hitting you hard.
Oh my god!
Make me another wisdom saving throw.
No, that's a 1.
You feel compelled to climb inside,
I get in the coffin,
and you just feel yourself automatically moving and pulling the lid over and sliding into place. And as it does, you feel just snap, and all of a sudden your mind's like back to you. You're like, "What am I doing?" As the world just goes dark, and you all immediately start piling in onto Argon's coffin after he jumped in this hole. What do you guys want to do? You just see dirt just pouring down.
Help.
You see the shovel like moving on its own, dumping piles of dirt down in the hole with him, and you're just trapped inside this coffin.
Yeah, Harper's gonna jump. He's gonna jump down there. And he's gonna take his dagger and try to pry open the coffin.
All right,
Yeah, and I'm gonna fight the shovel.
you grab the shovel.
Roll
And
for
Arphef
initiative.
Arphef's taking his own shovel and trying to shovel the dirt back out to make it lighter.
Harper, you jump down and you hear a clang on top of the box, Argon. What are you doing? You're trying to punch your way out, and
I'm just full force,
panicking.
knees and elbows just to the lid.
All right. And what were you doing you were using a dagger, Harper? What were you doing?
Yeah, he's just gonna pull out his dagger and try to make sure he can pry open this coffin.
Yeah, and you're already seeing like the dirt starting to pile in, so you're kind of like digging through and stabbing down into it. Make me an athletics check, Argon, and make me a damage roll, Harper.
A damage roll with my
Yes.
my dagger. Okay.
16.
So you push, and you can feel like the wood kind of creaking, but it almost feels like it's nailed shut. And Harper, you can actually see it flex a bit as he's trying to force it open, but it's not quite enough to pop the lid off as more and more dirt's just flooding. And Arphef's trying to counteract it, but it's just coming from every side of these maggots. Gorbolwyrm's over there grappling with the shovel, trying to stop it from filling in more. And he's managed to slow it down, but you can see like little bits of dirt flowing in from the side, and like your heart's pounding just because oxygen's going to start running out.
That's crazy.
What are you going to do?
My damage roll was 7, so he's just taking his dagger in there, and he's just kind of,
Okay.
trying to.
Yeah, you're trying to like pry it open. You manage to like pop open one little side of it, and Argon, you see like light flood in from that side, but it's very quickly filled with dirt as dirt starts pouring in, actually going in the coffin, getting up on your hands and arms as it floods in and starts to bury you inside the coffin. What are you doing?
Another athletics?
Yeah, go for it. Harper, what are you doing?
That's a 13.
Harper?
Does it look like I'm doing any good trying to?
I mean, you started to pry it open, but dirt's kind of flooding into that. You could do it, but it seems like it's going to take a little bit of time to pry each of these. Like there's nails in the coffin.
Hold on, buddy. He's gonna thunder wave the coffin.
All right.
Hold on.
Argon, make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'd like to cast Absorb Elements.
Oh.
Do you know what's happening, though?
No. You're right.
Hold on.
Harper. Harper could give him a warning.
That's a
Yeah,
13.
he did. He said, "Hold on, buddy.
How long have you known?
Kaboom.
Here comes my thunderclap."
That's a 13 for my Constitution save.
All right. And what's your DC, Harper?
13.
All right, so you pass. Half damage.
Ooh, damn. 12.
All right, so you like put your hands down and just boom, a force of thunder just shatters the coffin open as chunks of wood and dirt go flying everywhere. A bunch of dirt flies out of the hole. Arphef, you're just covered as it splatters over your back. Same thing, Gorbel, you're out there still fighting the shovel and just splashes up on you. And Argon, the walls collapse around you and you're just laying there as the dirt just goes still and stops filling in.
Yeah. So Harper reaches his hand out there to help him up.
You take 6 points of thunder damage.
Don't go in the hole.
Well, maybe if you that's that. Yeah.
Words to live by, Argon. Words to live by.
Don't go in the hole.
I understood that before you even did it. That was not on my list of priorities to be doing today.
All right.
Let's get the hell out of this hole.
You pull him out of the hole, and as you turn around, you look out, and through the open gates of the cemetery, you see where there once was like a row of trees is the edge of a cornfield
No.
in the distance.
Remember that story about popcorn I was telling you about? I believe we found it.
We found the breadcrumbs too.
What do y'all reckon we should do now?
I saw suggestions for set the graveyard on fire. I imagine set the cornfield on fire is coming next.
Pop that corn.
Yeah, it's a ways out in the distance. It's probably 100 yards away from you at this point, but it was definitely where there were trees before. The area shifted around you to reveal this little cabin in the woods.
Well, I guess that's an invitation.
I think you're correct. So what I reckon now, my good traveling companions, is are we heroes or are we survivors? Because if we are survivors, I think it's time to get the hell out of here. But if we're heroes, then maybe we put a stop to this evil and not let anyone else come across it again.
Well, the way
Yes, I think we should see what we can do about preventing this from happening to other people.
But on that same corn, I really don't want to be in the bottom of that there grave, if you know what I'm saying.
You stay on
This
the same
spot can't be our home.
It's not so bad once you get used to it.
What's that?
Fog's not so bad once you get used to it.
What are you thinking there, Argon, Arphef? What's your recommendations?
I would say this spot can't be our home, and we can't let these others be trapped here. I won't cow to this hag. And as I say that, I swing my warhammer and try to hit right in the center of the grave that's got my name on it, and see if I can't smash it.
Two bunch of pieces, and like across the area with vicious, jagged pieces of stone.
won't let her kill me either.
Yeah.
And you hear kind of like a voice on the wind, just then come play.
Follow.
Start heading to the corn maze. Come on,
All right.
boy.
So yeah.
Before we go, we should hold on there, Argon. Now, I do have one spell left. I could theoretically put one of us in maybe a little bit of invisibility, but I don't know how much these hag types. I don't know if they can see that or not, but that could be advantageous of us. Is anyone? Maybe our monk friend. How you say that, Gorbolwyrm? You want to maybe sneak up, see if you can get a good strike on her, maybe at least protect our back.
Yeah, I might be able to stun her.
All right. So prior to going into the corn, I'll cast invisibility on Gorbolwyrm.
So as you approach, you see that there's like a few, like there's now skulls hanging from the nearby trees. Some of them like by spines hanging even. You see a couple snakes coiled up in these trees. You see others impaled by like on stakes that are in the ground. As you get close, you can see the top of a cabin at the center with some like smoke coming out of a chimney. And then you see hovering up over the cornfield are scarecrows on posts. And the entire cabin from this side is just a solid row of corn, but it seems to extend all the way around the entirety of the cabin, about 100 feet on each side, with the cabin at the center. And you're coming up on the like right side of the cabin, not the main entrance. And the corn's pretty tall, so you can only really see the roof of the cabin.
Well, I'll head towards the cabin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're invisible, so maybe send you out in front a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which way are you approaching from?
Yeah, I'll approach from the left-hand side.
As you like get to the cabin and you go to like you put a hand on the corn and start to press it, you see one of the scarecrows out in the field turn and look over in your direction. as it's hanging up over. It's still like on a post, but it just turns and looks, and you see just this sack over its head with like little eyes carved out and just stuffed with fluff. Someone was like exploding out of its mouth. And then you see like a head shake. So you're like got one hand on the corn. Like, and you see that happen. What are the
Is
rest
there-
of you guys see? Like you see the corn start to part from Gorbolwyrm, and then you see that scarecrow turn and start to look in his direction, and you see the head shake. What do you do?
Man, I wish I had those bullywug skulls right now.
How many scarecrows are there?
You see 3 of them in total scattered throughout the field.
Pardon.
Is this corn? Is it like fresh and green, or is it like harvest time where it's yellow and dried?
It looks pretty, I guess, harvest time corn. Yeah.
Yeah, Argon. Let's do what the chat room says.
I cast Green Flame Blade.
Let's throw some
Alright.
fire out there.
Yeah. So, I would like to run up on a scarecrow.
So you just charge into the cornfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hit it with a Green Flame Blade.
All right. Make me an attack roll.
That's a 19. Or no, an 18. I apologize.
That is a hit.
So, that'll be 6 points of fire damage.
Nice. And so yeah, you take the hit, and your blade passes through, and you see as it just catches on fire and starts to burn, and arms flail out in panic as it like reaches down to rake at you. I need you to roll for initiative real quick. If that's your plan. So he charged into the field. What are the rest of you doing?
Seeing that, Harper's going to shake his head and be like, that's not what I meant. So if I were to imagine this correctly, so we've got like a main lane, and there's like one on the left, one on the right, cornfields, and then like a house in front, or what's the layout?
Like, what you've seen from the side you're at, it's just like a solid cornfield all the way around this house, and then scarecrows posted up, scattered throughout the area. So there's like one on this side of the house, and he ran into the cornfield and slashed at it.
Okay. Yeah.
The rest of you are still outside the cornfield a little bit.
Yeah. Harper's definitely going to take to the tinder box and, and feel like it's time for this cornfield to go up.
All right. What are the initiative rolls?
21.
That's a 5.
16.
And we lost global warming.
Oh no. So you gone for the rest of the night?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we just kick it off with Harper.
Yeah.
You're up first. You see one of these catch on fire and like licks of flame bouncing over to the field nearby. Green flame, of course. Then you see across the way another scarecrow descending from its post.
That's not good. Okay, so this is for me, right? So for my action setting, is that setting trying to light
Trying
the...
to set the corn on fire?
Yeah, yeah, that's and then is Argon still in range of? You know what? I'm going to use my Mantle of Inspiration again as a bonus action, and since Foerick's gone, the 3 of us are all going to get 5 temporary hit points, and we can move up to our movement.
So Arphef, would you like to move at
That
all?
uses your reaction.
How far into the cornfield did Argon go to hit that scarecrow?
About 30, 25 feet in, roughly.
Got it. Yep, I would move in there to be alongside him. That way, if I got to move out, I can go on my turn. So I would rush in after Argon.
As you just feel this blessing sweep over you, and a shield surrounds your body of inspiration. What else, Harper? You trying to catch the field on fire?
Yep. That's my
All right.
yeah. Bonus action was Mantle of Inspiration, and then action was going. Gosh damn.
Yeah, you spark it, and you see like flame start to take, and then it just snuffs out, and you hear like a voice whisper, "Not so simple."
Well, I've got plenty of matches left, so.
All right, Argon.
Yeah.
Got this bird in front of you.
I am going to hit it with my spear.
All right.
That is a 18 to hit.
Solid hit.
6 points of piercing. Ha.
All right. So you stab through it, and you feel like kind of pierce through the stuffing and hay of it, and then, like, what am I even stabbing here? As you pull back out, it doesn't seem as much, effectiveness as you might expect. Is your weapon magical? No.
No.
Right. Okay. I don't know if it has a. Maybe you had something.
I don't think it's considered magical though. But
Arphef.
Do I see him hit? I'm sorry, did he hit and did he attack and miss, or did he attack and hit?
He like, struck through it, but he's like stabbing through hay, so like pierces through, and he's like, it doesn't take punches like stabbing into flesh.
Got it. And I can probably deduce that. Sorry, say again.
It's a fancy way of saying it has resistance.
Got it. Could I tell from that it's got resistance from that exchange?
Probably that like these kinds of weapons might not be the most effective.
Got it. Okay. Then I
Fire seems effective.
What's that?
Fire seems effective.
Then I'm going to Sacred Flame this guy, which I think I haven't done this in a while. He takes a dexterity saving throw, or
all right, that's a fail.
Perfect. And that is 5 points of damage.
So the scarecrow kind of stumbles down off the post as it takes a slash, one at each of you, still burning, as it takes these claws across Arphef with a 15 to hit, and then at Argon with a 9 to hit. So is that a hit on you, Arphef, you said?
No, that's a miss. But quickly, there's one more thing. There's one thing I wanted to do on my turn. I apologize.
Go ahead. Sorry. It's all you.
If I use a cantrip, can I use a bonus action for a spell?
Yeah.
First of all, then I want to cast Magic Weapon on Argon's spear.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, so he jumps down. He tries to take slashes at you, but in his burning, you can see parts of the hay falling out. It can't quite get its normal striking power, and it just glances off each of you. You see the other scarecrow kind of descend down into the field, falls down off its perch, and just disappears into the corn off in the distance. The third scarecrow seems to be eating still. And we're back to
There's 3?
back to Harper.
Oh no. What about NPC global warming?
Oh yeah, he runs in there. We can have him take some punches.
Yeah.
We'll make some punches. He's got 1 hit for 7 damage. Nice.
Have that. Nice.
All right.
I dig it.
Yep, that's still
Right.
solid.
Okay,
He's by the scarecrow as well, punching at it.
Okay, so all 3 of them are on 1 scarecrow?
Yep. And the other one is on the other side of the house, probably about 75 feet away from you, and it dropped down in the field and disappeared.
Okay. Gosh damn, I wish I would have took some fire.
Though from you guys in the cornfield, you can't really see anything beyond the corn. It's 7-8 feet tall in places, so you're pretty much there's corn.
Yeah. Harper's he's gonna continue just to light up his tinderbox. He's gonna get a torch out. He's gonna just try to keep lighting this on fire.
All right, you light the tinderbox again, and once again it immediately snuffs out. Like there's some power stopping it from happening. It's just, I said stop that. You like hear that voice whisper in your like it almost sounds like it's coming from behind you.
Now I'm just trying to even the school. Give me one. Yeah, but
right,
that would be his action, and his bonus action would be like, oh shit.
Argon.
Can I reposition myself to get flanking?
Sure.
And then what does that magic weapon do? Is it just making a
Plus
magic
one weapon.
plus one weapon?
Yep, on attacks and damage, and then now it's magical.
Yep, so I'm going to hit it with spear again. That's a natural 1.
With advantage?
Oh, thank God. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's an 8.
There's a miss. Even with your +1 bonus to magic weapon, it's a miss.
Oh, I'm sorry, 9.
Still a miss. All right, Arphef.
I'm sending you new dice.
You
Dude.
see the magic spear going to stab up, and the scarecrow just like leans to the side. Just, dang it!
Stick it with the pointy end, Argon. And then I'm gonna. Oh no, I'm gonna Sacred Flame it again, so it takes a Dex saving throw. DC 13.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's a fail.
5 more points of damage.
All right, and that's actually enough that this creature just goes up in flames, and you see it like deteriorating around the edges, burning, and just wilts and falls apart into a pile of hay on the ground.
Can I kick as it's burning? Can I kick it into the corn to see if it catches the corn on fire?
Oh yeah, and, like the green flames, you kind of kick it in that direction, and they actually do start to spark and catch flame around you.
We've got our move.
All right.
And that's my turn. Well, so I can't see. I'm 4 feet tall. I can't see anything around me.
Yeah, it's just corn.
I'm just.
You know what direction the house is.
I'm gonna go back to back with Argon and end my turn that way.
Okay. That means we are to Scarecrow and back to Harper.
Can I still see that scarecrow?
Gorbolwyrm, I guess, back to back with
Yeah.
you as well. Sounds like we've lost Foerick, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a blue screen of death.
Oh.
The worst. All right. The fire does seem to be spreading in the field, though.
So Harper's over there with a match and gosh dang it, looks around.
Yep.
What the hell? So that was global warming then?
Yep. He's just staying with the others, like waiting for the next move. We'll say.
Right. Breathe fire on the scarecrow or corn, he says.
All right. Yeah, well, breathe fire on the corn. Yeah, if he's a red dragonborn, he could totally breathe fire on the corn. It sets it ablaze in a huge arc around in front of him. But the field is on fire and it goes fast because it's dry corn.
Yeah.
So you guys are in a burning cornfield now.
Y'all get out of there! Get back on the path. Yeah, so Harper's just gonna stand guard and watch for that other scarecrow to emerge, and he's gonna, gosh dang it, he's gonna use since the corn's deep and he's lost track of them, he's gonna use prestidigitation to kind of like shoot like a Roman candle from his point.
Up over the area to show it was where he is.
So just shoot some sparks in the air so they can see where the path is at.
All right, Argon. So you got your magical spear.
And I can see the other scarecrow.
You can't. It dropped into the field and it's
That's
disappeared.
Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to navigate back towards where the sparks are coming from.
Okay, so you turn and start making your way out of the field as it's actively burning.
Yeah.
And you hear like a voice, Harper, say, "Damn you."
Harper will reply.
All right. Arphef, what are you doing?
I'm not even
Back
looking
down.
up for the sparks. I'm going to follow on the heels of Argon and just run in that same direction.
So you guys all run over to the edge of the cornfield as the flames start to sweep over. Gorbolwyrm backs off his way as the flames seem to just scatter across the field quite rapidly now that the flames have really take hold from the flame breath. And you see like one scarecrow run out of the field burning kind of flop on the ground and roll around a bit before just turning into a ball of flame and burning out on the ground as it takes like a few minutes for this entire field to just go ablaze, and left sitting pristine in the center is a cabin.
Well, would you look at that?
Well, let's do it.
It's time.
Gold dragon. Okay, so gold dragon flank. Okay, all right. So you guys, as you approach, you realize that there was a pathway right up to the front door that completely avoided the entire cornfield. But you walk up and you see like it's a pretty quaint little cabin, probably like 30 feet wide on each side, with like some windows looking into to the area. You see like a nice little kitchen with a bookshelf behind it, table. There's like a tea kettle over a fireplace, and then this is just front door. It seems actually quite easy.
Yeah. So apparently, with the dreams that we had last night, I think that I'm probably the one that she wants. Now, I have no problem with going in first if you all.
All right, yeah, you can be the bait.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
You see like a little welcome mat that's just like come inside and has like a little smiley face.
I was hoping y'all would disagree with me a little bit.
Oh, no, you volunteered.
Nope.
But all right, I see where this is going. Okay, absolutely. All right, so Harper will use his last second level spell slot to turn himself invisible, and he's gonna open the door and go in.
All right, yeah, you open and it just opens right up without any resistance, not locked or anything. You step into like a little kitchen, like look around. There's like you can smell some like incense maybe burning in the other room. It actually smells really pleasant in here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks inviting and cozy.
Absolutely.
There is a doorway leading out of this room into another.
There's a what? Hallway?
There's like a doorway. It's not like an actual door leading over into another room adjacent to this one.
Yeah. If I start to destroy the place, will that blow my invisibility?
I'd say probably.
Okay.
If you're like actively smashing things.
All right. So he'll just say, "Honey, I'm here." Now, why don't you come on out so we can have a chat, see what exactly is what your plan is, and he'll just walking down the hallway. He's looking for her like he's trying to.
You hear, "Join me in the bedroom."
Oh, now darling. He kind of looking over his shoulder. Guys, are you
You
still
see the other guys like looking in through the window up front, just standing there.
Yeah. So he'll go down the hall, and he's got weapon in hand.
So you like branch off this room. There's like a study with more books on the wall. There's like chairs in front of a fireplace with like a nice rug out in the middle, candles along the room. Seems really ordinary. And then there's another door off of this room that's closed. As you go over and you open that up, and it seems to reveal clearly a bedroom. There's a large dresser along one side with a mirror on top of it, and you see a comb sitting on that stand that looks to be crafted from like a bird's rib cage, as best you can tell. You see skulls decorated all over the area, all of them with their bottom jaws removed. There's some stuffed ravens scattered along the room as well. They seem to have glimmering ruby eyes. There's also a large rug in the corner of the room that is looks to be well used, shall we say. It's like faded away and torn around the edges. And there's a nice queen size bed in the room with red what sort of blankets.
All right, but there doesn't seem to be anything else at this point.
That's all you see from the doorway.
How big would you say this room is?
Standard size bedroom, like what's that, like 12, 15 feet?
Okay. Harper's going to try to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
And that would be fills a 20-foot cube within range, outlined in, we're going to say green, Any creature in the area with the spell is cast is outlined if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
What's the DC?
13.
It's actually incredible. No one's done this. You cast it, and you actually see, like, standing over in the corner of the room, over near the trapdoor, is the hag, like lurking just behind it, pressed against the wall. Oh, by the rug. There's a trapdoor beneath the rug. Shh. Don't tell the players. So yeah, she like seems shocked as she looks down and is revealed and looks up at you, and she just like holds a hand out. And I need you to roll for initiative as you sped that up a little bit.
Awesome.
You guys outside can roll as well, and we'll see how Harper pulls you guys in.
That's a 4 for me.
Oh, my.
Nice.
9. I'll be RB. I gotta blow my nose.
All right.
And quickly, I would have been like on the porch by the front door, like waiting and listening would be where I would have posted up at.
Would someone like to play Gorbolwyrm for this fight?
I'm happy to if you want to send me the character sheet real quick.
He doesn't have a character sheet, I don't think, does he?
Did he say something in chat? Character sheet is on computer, not a copy on paper. He's got attack rolls. I can just nerf the boss if that's what we need to do. Just to keep things simple. All right. So what were the initiative rolls? Sorry about that.
I think ignore the trapdoor behind the rug. That's what
I got a
it
5.
said.
A 5?
I
Okay.
got a 4.
Oh no.
But I'm still invisible. Oh wait, am I
And then
invisible?
Arphef, you
No, I can't. They're both concentration.
you actually are. Oh, you fairy fired. So yeah, when you fairy fired, you dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say, since they're still outside, you two go first.
Okay, that works.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As she holds out a hand and snarls and just twists this nasty claw in your direction.
Oh man, I'm not that good at those. Oh, 11.
You feel the muscles in your jaw go tight as your teeth clench together, and you can't even pull them apart, and it's so tight that it almost feels like your teeth are going to crush into each other. It's pulling it so hard closed. Quite painful. Yeah. And then she like brandishes her claws and starts walking over in your direction, just kind of lingering over like she's about to enjoy this. And she just takes a couple steps towards you, and then it's going to be Argon. I guess you technically, or what's your initiative, Argon? Sorry.
7 plus 2, so 9.
All right. So yeah, you're next, but you guys don't know what's going on yet, so we're just going to go straight to Harper, who needs to repeat his Constitution saving throw on his turn.
Oh, man.
Or wait. Is it the end of the turn? Beginning of the turn. Just a second. At the end of that creature's next turn. All right, so you're good until the end of your turn.
But I have full movement. Or
Oh, sweet. Foerick apparently just sent me his character sheet, he says.
am I? Do I have full movement? My jaw's just clenching, but I can move other than that.
Yes. You just can't speak. So
Okay.
anything that requires verbal components are...
Well, there went that spell.
Yep.
And that spell.
But she
and
is
that
still afflicted by fairy fire.
spell, and that spell. And that spell. And
So you
that
have
spell.
attack rolls against her, and she can't become
All right,
invisible again.
how far away is she?
Oh, yeah, he sent me his character sheet. There it is. I've got it. She is like 5 feet away from you.
Okay. And that rug is not with the trap behind it.
Yeah, you don't know about the trapdoor.
Okay. And she's taking in the surroundings. Honestly, I think Harper's just gonna get the fuck out of there. He's just like.
So you just turn and run out of the room.
Well, I was kind of. If she's 5 feet in front of me, can I stabby first and then run?
Oh yeah. I mean, she'll get an attack for opportunity on you, but
That's fine.
all right.
Yeah. He's gonna stab and then run.
Stab her. All right, you got advantage.
8. Oh, I don't even know if I need it. 18 plus 5, 23.
That's a hit.
All right, with his rapier, which will do 8 points of damage.
Nice. So you skewer into her, and you feel like this incredibly thick flesh. You don't expect it from this kind of decrepit old woman, but your blade manages to pierce in, but it's very tough. And then you turn to run, and she tries to slash you across the back as you do so, which is a natural 19. Oof.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Here we go. Oh, crap. Wrong dice. That is 11... 15 slashing damage as claws just rake down your back as you try to flee. And I need you to repeat that Constitution saving throw, if you would. As you run out of the house to the front door. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, he's getting back. He's going
Okay,
back
so
the way.
you're like running and you sprint through the study, back through the kitchen, like out to the front door.
Yeah.
And what's your roll?
11.
So, this is happening literally every time we run this adventure. Your jaw clenches, and as you burst out the front door, you see your party, and you guys see Harper run out. He's got like claw marks, his clothes are shredded down his back, and you see his jaw just rip open at one side, just rips the flesh, and is just hanging down by a little flap of meat as the jaw is just dangling on the side of his face. You take... Let's see here.
That's enough rolls.
24
Yeah.
bludgeoning damage as your jaw just snaps and tears as the flesh, blood sprays all over the ground before you. So I imagine Harper runs out the front door and just staggers and collapses in the grass right in front of you. So Arphef, you just... I think you're
screaming.
We're gonna go you next. I got Foerick's character sheet, so we're going to add him back to the ship. Argon, it's your turn.
I'm gonna ready my spear for anything coming out of that door that I can see.
All right. Arphef. What are you doing?
Is he dead, or can I heal him?
I don't know.
Oh,
he definitely collapses to the ground.
I would. Arphef's training. He would drop to his knees immediately and cast Cure Wounds as a second level spell, and hope and just like try to cast all that divine light right on his jaw, and see if it repairs any of it.
Trying to heal him.
So that's 2d8 at second level. So that's 12 points of healing.
Do you rise up, Harper? Or is he just dead? So, the meat, he's just hanging by, like, meat is all that's connecting the jaw. You can't speak, but you are conscious. So you're just, like, tongue hanging out of the mouth, just blood dripping down. Some of the wounds have, like, healed up a little bit, but your jaw is still just severed, hanging by a single little strand of meat. And you see as the hag just kind of staggers out of the study into the kitchen and starts marching out. And she, such arrogance, and just kind of laughs and marches towards the doorway. And she looks over to you. Go ahead, Arphef.
I would use my movement to at least put myself like 5 or 10 feet in front of everybody else, and then stand there and wait.
Oh yeah, I need to see if she recharges her ability. She does.
Great.
So Arphef, she holds out a hand to you. You next. And she see the hand twist, and you just make a Constitution saving throw.
For me?
No, Arphef.
Oh.
Bad?
That's a 6.
Jaw clenches shut. Can't speak. Pain as those teeth crush and grind together. Your jaw is just fixed in place. Argon, I'm going to give you an attack of opportunity here as she steps out in the door. She just doesn't seem to pay you any mind. And then Gorbolwyrm is going to go next.
She's still glowing.
She is. Or no.
I lost concentration.
He went unconscious.
All right. Yeah, you're right.
Where'd it go? $16 to hit.
It is actually a miss, I believe, against her. Yes, it is a miss. Unfortunately,
Quickly, does he get the +1?
is your +1 weapon still around?
Yes.
How long does the spell last?
Oh yeah.
It's up to an hour. I would have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. 17 is a hit.
Awesome. So I'd be 1d6.
What got
Clutch play, Harper.
8 points of piercing damage.
Nice. All right. Stab into her and skewer. Like she seems surprised as the spear kind of tears into her flesh unexpectedly. Like looks over to you with like these hateful eyes. They're just glossed over white. And we are to Harper again.
Okay. Knowing that Harper has number 1 a healing potion and number 2 a healing word, does he feel like he could probably cure himself to where he could talk again?
No.
Okay.
You would need greater restoration or tremendous amounts of time resting.
In that case, let's see. He is going to. He's going to draw his rapier, and he's just going to try to stab her.
All right, do it.
That is a 23.
That is a solid hit.
All right. 5 points of damage.
Every bit counts.
Yes, and as a bonus action, he would like to sheath the rapier and just play a little ditty on the mandolin to give bardic inspiration to Arphef.
He's like crying, like blood on his fingers. Just giving him inspiration. All right.
Oh.
Gorbolwyrm's gonna go. Let me pull up his character sheet real quick.
Hey, quickly, Harper. How long does our temporary hit points last from your Mantle of Inspiration? Do we still have those 5?
If it was today, I think you still have it.
Cool.
Except for me. It doesn't say when they go away.
3 attacks.
It's only been a few
Miss.
minutes since we entered the cornfield.
All right. Gorbolwyrm gets 1 hit, and he's going to, he's using flurry of blows, and he's going to try to stun her. Because I'm pretty sure he has that. She's going to roll con. She resists the stun, but Gorbolwyrm still deals some damage. As he charges in. Yeah, 6 points of damage. All right, so Gorbolwyrm walks up, delivers a flurry of blows, and actually manages to give you guys some... Actually, yeah. You'll have flanking after this. We'll say maybe he should have had it, but it's too late. All right, and it's his turn. Her turn. The hag's going to turn and sees you, Harper, just on the verge of death, and just kind of smiles at the prospect of you living out your days with that broken jaw. And she's going to turn and rake into Gorbolwyrm with these claws. Hit.
Yeah, you should still have those temps.
Yep. So, yeah, he had temp HP, and he takes 12 points of damage. So that's going to be... Alright. He's still standing, but claws just rake across his chest as her attack comes in. Alright. And it is Argon's turn once again.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna hit her with the spear. Actually, I'm gonna chuck my shield and 2-hand the spear.
Okay.
That's a 6.
That's
So-
a miss. With advantage?
Oh,
You got flanking now.
yes, that's still a 15, but I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
So do it again. It's also a D8, not a D6.
+1 as well.
Yeah, that's 2 6s on the die.
Oh no! So Argon just trying to stab at her, she just swipes away his blows and blocks him and just kind of laughs. And after you finish that attack, she says, "Is that the best you've got? You'll never leave this place alive. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw."
TPK.
That is a 15.
All right. Her vicious mockery does not seem to get to you. Arphef, it is your turn. Your jaw is still welded shut effectively, but you are up.
Very good. Well, seeing his allies attempting to batter this hag, he is going to use Channel Divinity as a war cleric. Wait, where's it at? So I get a +10 on the attack.
Oh, nice.
So that is, and I needed it too. That's a 21 now.
21 solid.
With the Warhammer. All right. And so that's 7 points of damage.
Nice. All right. You guys are smashing into her. You can see you're starting to like weaken down and stagger over. You're clearly dealing some damage to her. But at the end, is that it, Arphef? Or do you have
No,
anything
because
else?
as a war cleric, I can also use a bonus action to make a second attack.
Nice.
And
Do
so I'm
it.
going to do that without, it's not Channel Divinity, but that's a 17.
That's a hit.
Perfect.
Matches the AC.
Come on. And that's 5 points of damage.
Nice. Wearing her down.
And now that's the end of my turn, which means con saving throw, I believe.
That is what that means. Here we go. Wally.
Oh, that's a 14 or a
Don't-
13.
Don't forget
13.
your D6 inspiration die.
Oh, yes. Yes. So that is a 16 total.
All right. 16 is enough as you feel your jaw just loosen as you fight off the power. You can feel like maybe some of your teeth have been cracked just from clenching together so hard, but you feel your jaw loosen as you get it back, and you're not in Harper's position. All right. Speaking of Harper, it's your turn.
Stab.
More stabby.
Yep. 17.
That is a hit.
Oh.
Matches. Wow, the 17's all over.
8 points.
Oh man. All right, so yeah, you stab into her with your rapier and skewer through her side, and you see there's like, as you retrieve your blade, there's like no blood that pours out. It just seems to be like hollow inside, as she's taking deep breaths now and seems quite weary.
And then once again, he's just going to like do like one strum of a mandolin and look over in Argon's direction, realizing that a D6 might not be enough, but he's providing that anyway.
All right,
And that's
Gorbolwyrm
my last Spartic inspiration.
with another flurry of attacks coming out. With 2 hits this time. I think he's out of key points at this point, though. With a flurry. It's 5 additional. Nice, 11 points. All right, so Gorbolwyrm goes up and just pummels into her fist as she starts to stagger down, surrounded by all of you. Prospects aren't looking good. She actually seems frightened. And as we roll around to her turn, she, let's see here. Where is it? She disappears from in front of you. And Argon, you feel something press into you and like shove past you. I will allow each of you to make an attack of opportunity against her with disadvantage as she is invisible.
That's it. Oh, plus I have a D6. Oh my god, I can't.
It's a 20 for me.
20? Nice.
7 plus 5 is 12 now.
12 is a miss.
Natural. Oh, disadvantage. Gosh damn it.
We got him.
Was it
Still a
disadvantage?
17 though. I rolled a 20 and a 12 with my rapier. That'd be a 17.
That's a hit.
Gosh darn. I was like, don't. Oh.
All right, Arphef, what was yours?
I actually missed. I didn't realize
Oh.
disadvantage. I have a
She's
6.
invisible. Harper, what's your damage?
6 points.
6 points.
And he's stabbing her like right at her jaw.
Well, she's invisible,
that's
so
right.
the best you can do. Let's see here. Wow. Okay, so Harper, You just lunge out as Argon kind of gets knocked to the side. He tries to swing, misses. Arphef tries to swing down, misses. But you manage to step ahead and skewer right in between the ribs underneath her and lash out. And she stumbles to the side and becomes visible again, almost staggers into the remnants of the burnt cornfield, like falls to her knees. And she's like trying to crawl away across the ground. Argon, it's your turn.
Yeah.
She's looking real bad.
I'm gonna run up on her in green flame blade.
All right.
No, I'm not.
Oh, it's ready for the epic finish. All right. So you try to come down to the green flame blade. She manages to roll to the side with some of her remaining energies. The sword just clashes against the dirt and sinks in, setting the area nearby on fire once again. Arphef, it's up to you. You've regained control of your jaw. She's trying to run. She's on the ground near Argon. You can curl around to get advantage if you want from flanking.
Definitely going to. I'm dropping my shield to two-hand the warhammer, and I'm aiming right for the jaw.
Okay.
That's a natural 19, so that's a 22.
Nice. Yeah, damage.
Oh yeah, it's a D10 on a two-handed. So that's 9 points of damage.
All right. So you run up, bring the hammer, swing like almost golf club style, and just crush it into her jaw. She's trying to roll away from Argon. And you see the head just snap back as the teeth shatter out of her head, and the neck snaps and just flops on the ground. And immediately you see her body like start to decay as like no words are spoken. She's just so caught off guard by the attack, wasn't ready, and you just snapped her, crushed her jaw into her skull. And yeah, immediately you see the body start to decay and wither, and just over the course of 10 seconds there's nothing but a pile of ash on the ground blowing away in the breeze.
I'm going to reach for my own jaw at the sound of that crack and look over at my companions.
Most of the blood stopped at this point from your cure wounds, but he's still just hanging from the thread.
And then I'll look out past them at the house and out the cornfield back towards where the bog was.
Yep. And the landscape seems to like ripple almost before you, as the forest seems to just come alive in the distance, and you can see the trees kind of sprouting off over the horizon as some of them extend up over where the bog was and seems to regrow and blossom just beyond your sight line. And yeah, that's where we can call the official adventure. We went a little late. I was trying to rush us through there. But yeah, to kind of wrap things up, the party can make their way back to Kurg, who thanks them for freeing him through the mask that he's wearing, which is a tribal Oni war mask, because he is an Oni, which is worth 500 gold, and he offers to you. And you can loot her house. It has some ravens with the ruby eyes are worth some money, and there's actually the body of her husband still in the basement, who gets to rest now that she's been defeated. Normally, you fight her down in the trapdoor and the kind of crypt that she has there that's filled with bones. And you guys just completely, like, the story is that she follows you invisible because she snuffed out your fire every time you tried to catch the field on fire, Wally. And so she was there and was, like, whispering to you, but then you caught her. You fairy fired and you caught her. It was fantastic. That's never happened. And so, great stuff.
Harper is the flame.
Yeah, so you guys managed to take Kurg with you and escape from the bog, which is slowly returning to a forest. And like over the next few weeks, it returns to its former glory as all the creatures that were trapped there are freed from this curse.
Nice. We did it.
So yeah, that's
Incredible.
the Bog of the Hag, everyone. I hope you had fun. Yeah, that was intense. Someone always gets the jaw broken. It's happened every single time, and it's always so... It's like people don't know what to expect, and then just the strand of meat. Oh, Wally, you're muted.
I am muted. Yep, should just be Wally that gets the jaw broken. I like it. That was awesome.
Wally, you saved my jaw. Like, without your inspiration, I would have been right alongside you.
Yep.
So your sacrifice was not in vain.
It was not the best mandolin chord he ever hit. It was just like bang.
But seeing the devastation that she wrought on you was enough for me to resist that second Constitution saving throw. So
And then he looked over at you like this, like,
I got you some payback, Harper.
yeah, awesome. All right, well, we can go ahead and cut out of there. We can talk just a little bit after I wrap up this live stream and everything. But any final thoughts? Start with you, Arphef, or
Well, for me, quickly, just was completely terrified, start to finish. I mean, you go into it knowing it's a horror one shot, but you still, even knowing that, you still just get brought into these horror scenes one after another. So very fun, very, very on edge the whole way through, and really good adventure. So good time, great time.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Sarah?
So I don't know
yeah.
if you can see my screen, but that's what she looks like.
Nice. There she is.
So
Yeah, we can see
that's
it.
the hag.
Yeah, when we were talking about running this, I wasn't expecting. This is really good. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Steven?
Yeah, I had a blast. I love running this adventure. Like I said, I think this is the sixth group I've run this one for, and it's always a delight. And so if you guys want to run it, there's actually the way I wrote this adventure, there's like 2 or 3 different things that can happen like on each day and each night, depending on how you want to thread it together. So you can get a bullywug ambush in there. You can encounter an Etten. There's like a pond that's got a black pudding in it. There's like skeletons down in the basement that can attack you. Like when you first encounter, there's like a Minotaur skeleton and some others that attack you down in the crypt. There was like a cursed key that you have to use to open that trap door, and it breaks your jaw if you hold on to it for too long. There's a bit where someone gets captured in the middle of the night and is being hung by a set of skeletons off in the distance, and you have to save them. So there's all kinds of other stuff you can throw into this adventure to extend it. We did a kind of shortened version of it for this because normally it lasts. You go through 2 nights and 3 days. So I was trying to keep us in under timeline a little bit. So
No, you did. Yeah, you did absolutely amazing. But definitely before we go, what was the thing with the bullywug skulls and the gold coin?
no, it's just those are just skulls that she'd left for you. There's a bag of treasure there for you to take. It's just kind of like they had been killed and their brains had been devoured.
Okay. Right, I didn't know
So
if there
it
was
was
like a secret. I was just like,
it was just like 35 gold worth of treasures
Okay.
that you can get there.
okay,
And
interesting, awesome.
Terrified.
Well, yeah, that was absolutely amazing, fantastic Halloween one shot. Nerzugal's Tome of Horrifying Adventures, and you can find a link to that in the description below. So make sure you go over to the DMs Guild, throw a few dollars that way, because that's worth every bit of $14.99, $19.99 for the PDF. I mean, you've got like 12 Halloweens worth of stuff in there. So
it's actually only $7.
is it?
So yeah.
It's worth a
And you
lot
can
more
get
than
this
that. That's
adventure
for sure.
So if you just want to run this one, it's a pay what you want product available separately on the DMs Guild. So
There you go.
I always appreciate the support, but I like everyone to be able to run my adventures. So
Nice. Yeah. So totally worth it. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate it. I am going to kick the outro in here, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for playing. On to
See
the
you
next.
guys.
Good night.